What's going on Tuesday painting stream? Thank you for coming and hanging out this lovely Tuesday. This week we are going to just finish up this unit of infantry blood knights that we have going on. Because I need to get it done. I head out for vacation in New York City on Friday, and I need to just.
Woo, New York City!
No, I just need to finish this video. So all the time that I am spending today and tomorrow, and tomorrow's Wednesday, and then some of Thursday is going toward the video. And so that may mean that today's stream is a little bit shorter if I finish these guys early, and then we'll end the stream early, and then I will just get back to doing that video. Kind of low energy today. Not feeling on top of the world.
I'm gonna bring up the energy.
Try to bring up the energy. But yeah, got a lot of things in my life that are taking the energy away and not giving me any. So
he's just feeling that post Labor Day malaise.
That's what it is.
It's fall.
That's what it is.
I've been growing out my beard in preparation for mustache summer to be over.
There it is. Yeah, get the smelling salts. Yeah.
Also,
who's gonna do it?
Iron Terrans resubscribed with Prime 12 months in a row. He did that right when we went live.
Oh, excellent.
Also, it is September, everyone. And in celebration, we're giving away actual stuff that costs actual money for us. Gonna give away a Miniac cutting mat and a sticker pack.
Yes. So if we get to 50 subs during this stream, we will give away a cutting mat and also some stickers to one of the viewers. Thank you, 9GG for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. But yeah, it also is cheaper this month. If you sub in this month, I think it's like 20% off.
It's 25% off 1 month, 30% off 3 months, and hang on, I had it in front of me a second ago. Yeah, 30% off 6 months.
There you go.
So if you're the kind of person that goes, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep resubscribing, you get a discount on your end. It doesn't discount what we make.
Yeah.
For just buying in bulk. Buy that 6 month pack, get ahead.
Heck yeah. All right. So what I'm working on right now, and I'm pretty proud of this. This is the last freehand design for my army. I've dubbed these guys the Chalice Guard. They are Grave Guard proxies, and so I've kind of felt like that name was pretty fitting. So the Chalice Guard, they're basically blood knights before they get their horses. So they got fresh armor, they're looking fresh. They got chalices on their shoulders. Chalices in my army have like a big motif for the backstory. And so, they do for all vampires, let's be real. So yeah, pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. I'm done with the freehand design. I'm not gonna put any more work into it. But I will be finishing up this burning skeleton up here. This was not part of the original design. This is one of the conversions that I added on after the fact.
The Idiot Painter just resubscribed 6 months in a row, 13 total.
Oh, thank you, Idiot Painter. Someone asked, Scott, my cutting mat is warped up in a couple places. What causes that, and how can I fix it? I don't know. I've never seen a cutting mat. I've seen cutting mats like get bendy because they've been like left somewhere to, and they kind of like roll over on themselves or like they get creased by something. But if a cutting mat is sitting flat on a table, I've never seen it warp. Maybe heat, maybe actually heat does that. I've seen sometimes where I'll point my cutting mat at a model for an extended period of time, and then it hits the cutting mat behind it, and then the heat causes it to maybe like warp a bit.
There's also the possibility of just being in like really strong direct sunlight.
Interesting. Okay.
Why is my Outlook not sending this work email that I tried to send before stream?
Sub.
Chat, help me diagnose this.
Yeah. Okay. Do that right now. Subadelphia. Thank you for the sub, Jimmy Hayes. Also, thank you for the compliment on the freehand. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Did NMM and a little bit of freehand. Feels good about that. Some of the things I could add. I could have there could be a pattern of blood drops on the banner. I wanted to add teeth to the top of this and have them like it's like vampire teeth at the top of the cup, like not part of the actual cup, but just like a more design motif. But this is fine. I don't need to do any more work. I may darken some of these blue checks over here, as you can see. There are some areas where I had to do corrections that are not fully opaque. I may fix that. But this design, for the most part, is, I'm calling it done, and then I'll work on this. Lenny's brush. Thank you for the Prime sub. Oh, in terms of mail time, we, I don't know how much stream cares about this, but we got a new camera for the gaming stream, which we're excited about, or I'm excited about, really.
Yeah, let me grab it and throw it to you like a softball.
No, it's right here on my desk. And also, I got a bunch of new Shatterpoint stuff, which
Lurking in the background.
I didn't ask for it. They sent it to me, and I was like, oh, it's super nice. They sent me the Witches of Dathomir, which the idea I love. But the models, no, it's not super into them. But I love the idea of Sith witches. That's fucking awesome. So we got that. Comes with Savage Oppress, Mother Talzin, and some cronies. We got the unit of Padme Amidala, and her assistants. I don't know what their names are. I'm not super deep on Sabe, and the Naboo Royal Handmaidens. So from that first, second, third movie timeline.
I need more representatives of Naboo. In
Yeah.
particular, I need Jar Jar.
Yeah, you need Jar Jar. You and everyone else.
Jar Jar's honor guard.
Hate love. HUD the Hobby Daddy, thank you for the 20 months of subbing total. Coming in hot with 14. Coincidentally, that's the number of Miniac stickies that have been placed. Nice, yeah. HUD's got some bootleg Miniac stickers going right now that are pretty cool. They sent me also this thing. I don't know any of these characters. It's called Fistful of Credits. You have Cad Bane, Aura Singh, and the Bounty Hunters. That's pretty fucking cool. But I don't know any of these people. I've never seen them before. My knowledge of Star Wars is not very deep. People Comfy, 3 years soon. Honestly, yeah, People Comfy. God diggity damn, son. Thank you so much for all that support. Appreciate it, truly. And then more from that earlier time period in Star Wars. We have Mace Windu. I think they're called ARF Troopers. ARF Troopers and also Commander Pons. Coincidentally, this guy, Commander Pons, is the only way that I can run all 4 Inquisitors in a list, because he is a 3-point supporting unit. No. Whatever the second one is. Because he is that way, I can run all of the Inquisitors. So I will be running him, so I can get all my Inquisitor people in one list. Feels like Shatterpoint is leaning really heavily into Rebels. Why do you say that? I have 4 boxes here. 2 of them are good guys, 2 of them are bad guys. I don't know what Rebels means.
He means the show Rebels, I think.
Ah, yes, the show. Okay. So like that Cad Bane and Aura Singh probably come from Rebels, I'm assuming. That's the mail time. If you guys want to hear more about the camera, I doubt it. But here it is. It's a box camera.
It's from the future.
From the future. That's it for mail time. The less hurtful term is protagonists and antagonists. Rebels is better than the fucking prequel trilogy, at least. Borg Cube. Yeah, it's kind of like Borg Cube. I played the MOBA board game last night, Skytear, and really liked it. That's awesome to hear. I'm glad to hear that. The Bounty Hunter one's the one I'm looking forward to. Yeah. I took a peek into Shatterpoint and debated a list. Mace looked like a beast in combat. I also really enjoyed the Peace and Preparation box. Looks really nice as well. Cool. Glad to hear that. Just like that, Greyjoys are back on the shelf. It's nothing to do with Greyjoys, man. It has everything to do with me and my schedule and how much time and energy I have.
Vacation to New York.
Yeah, that too. All right, let's finish up this skeleton. Digital Soul, thank you for the Prime sub. Again, it is September, so all subs are discounted at least 25%. If you sub at higher tiers, you get even more of a discount. All right, I'm done talking.
Scott, what are you planning to do in New York?
eat food,
Whoa.
and anything else my wife wants to do. That's what I want to do. We go to New York City like once a week. Once a week.
Damn.
Hilariously, I was just in New York City like 2 weeks ago for a funeral, though. I go there like once a year, and you know, the very first vacation I went on when I got married to Amber, we both kind of realized that we don't like typical vacations. Like, I don't want to go to New York City to see the Statue of Liberty and go to museums and shit. Honestly, I kind of hate museums. They're boring as fuck. I'm not a huge history person, so never really is super fun to do that for me. And so, because of that, we just do the kinds of vacations that we want to do, which is like basically eating delicious food, going on hikes, relaxing. Like, we'll often go to like Hawaii and just spend 6 hours sitting on a beach and reading a book, because that's just fun to do. So yeah, no huge plans in New York City. Might see a Broadway show. Yeah, just gonna eat food and hang out and shop and do whatever we walk past. Might see a comedy show. I don't know. Please convince my wife to do a relaxing vacation. Yeah. It's very fun. Yeah, food is very fun. Yeah, it's tough. Vacations are tough sometimes.
I kick ass for the Lord.
See if we can sneak some of this white paint in between the bones, because obviously this guy is burning on the inside. Did you play some games with Scott from the Source, Evan? Is it good?
I did. I got an opportunity to try out. What is the actual title of it? Cyberpunk Combat Zone, I think. Okay. Monster Fight Club's new game.
All
right. List building is fun because you get to buy stuff for your guys, which always feels good. It's alternating activations, but in a kind of weird way, because you can use one of your actions to try and activate another guy. So each dude on your team will have generally 2 or 3 actions. And the actions are tied to a specific size of dice. I believe this is the same system that they used in their non-cyberpunk skirmish game that they released like a year or 2 ago. And you can use one of those dice instead of making an attack or making a move action or whatever. You can basically try and activate someone that's close to you. So you can kind of chain things if you want, but you're losing out on total actions. And then you have nameless goons that only get 1 action, and all of your nameless goons go when you refresh all your dice on your guys. So there's sort of a cadence between activating your characters. You activate a couple characters or all of them, and then you activate to reset all those dudes, and all your goons can go and do stuff. We were playing a small enough game that I only had 1 generic goon, so it wasn't able to really take advantage of that hugely, but it's a interesting system. The only thing I really dislike about it is it's a single dice. Like, you're rolling opposed rolls, and it's like you're either picking to roll the D6, the D8, or the D12. And I don't like those systems because even though I picked the D12 and my opponent picked the D6, and yeah, that increases the odds theoretically, it still feels like a 50-50 chance most of the time because it's just over the defender or under the defender. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to playing it again. It's definitely built for like campaign, like a Blood Bowl type campaign style play where you're earning money and upgrading your dudes, and sometimes your guys get entries and die, and then you harvest their body for parts and whatever, which is cool, but obviously doesn't come out in skirmish play. This is Cyberpunk's Combat Zone game, Rufus Kid. What about you? You play any new games recently?
I had my sister and her husband over this weekend. They're not huge game players, so we didn't. But we bought another expansion for Dice Throne and played that recently. I picked up the Monk and the Paladin, so now I have 5 dice throne boxes, which is
You are into that game.
yeah, it's too much. But it's a good game. I don't regret buying any of them. I like them all. But yeah, there's I don't think I played any new games. No, I didn't. I went to Fantasy Flight Game Center. I had to return an army that I was holding on to because I was filming it for the end of our escalation campaign. A lot of people have expressed interest in seeing other people's armies and also hearing, their backstory and other things. And so I've been having the boys over in the office to interview them, to borrow their armies so I can film them. And then I want to do a video that talks, that shows all the armies off that we worked so hard to get painted or, partially painted.
Yeah, I got to bring in my guys on Thursday then.
Yeah. You will drown in a sea of dice run. Right, yeah, I'm familiar. Rolls Royce, we actually talked about Eat the Reich at the very end of last week's stream. I also backed that a week ago. It's a great game. Or just, I don't know if it's great. It looks really cool. I watched the entirety of Obi-Wan, and I've started Ahsoka. And I gotta tell you guys, you guys hating on that movie a lot, and there are problems with it.
Movie?
TV show. I think the biggest problem with all these Star Wars TV shows is there's just so many moments when the writing doesn't make sense. It's just like, why? Like, obviously in Obi-Wan, there's this thing that happens where it's like, the solution to all their problems seems to be use Obi-Wan as bait, and then he gets away. It's just like this. We can't keep relying on this. There's a lot of things where characters do things, doesn't make sense, the motivation isn't there. But like, whatever. We get more Hayden Christensen lightsaber choreography. Him and Obi-Wan, his name escapes me. What's Obi-Wan's fucking name? The actor's name?
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen fucking have lightsaber duels like goddamn G's. They have awesome choreography. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Also, I love that we get to see more Inquisitor shit, and we get to hear more from Darth Vader's perspective and stuff. There's a lot of bad guy scenes in the show, and so I appreciated that as a bad guy lover. But it was by no means the worst TV I've ever watched, which a lot of people were saying it was terrible. Grand Centro Electro, thank you for gifting a sub. Yeah, Rufus also backed it. Yeah, Ahsoka has also been pretty solid, but there's a lot of things where it's kind of like, why are you doing that, character? You have no reason to do that. Just an example, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. So there's this female Sith who goes and finds Sabin Wren. I've never heard of this character before in my life until now. Apparently Ahsoka's previous Padawan. She has a thing that this Sith Lord wants, Sith Apprentice. The Sith Apprentice comes with droids. The droids get the map, this thing that they want to acquire. And while the Sith Apprentice and Ahsoka's apprentice are fighting, the droid is standing right there with this valuable thing. It's like, dude, run the fuck away. Like, run as far away as you possibly can so you don't lose this thing. Why are you watching this fight? It made no sense to me at all. And there are like a million things like that in both Obi-Wan and kind of in Ahsoka so far. But like, I just kind of am choosing to ignore that stuff because it's not really that important, honestly. And I'm just enjoying the, being immersed in Star Wars lore. And it's fun. I enjoyed watching Obi-Wan. It was short, didn't take a lot of investment. So I didn't really care, but it was good. I liked it. Right, that's the other thing about Ahsoka is I feel like I'm missing a lot of context. I feel like I'm like, who are these people? Like, the Empire is dead now, apparently, which kind of happens when the Death Star is destroyed, but we're like some amount of years further beyond that, like way beyond that. We're in a place where the Rebel Alliance is the new government installed, and we're trying to track out the remaining Empire, which is a cool timeline, but it's just like there was a moment where I had to kind of like figure that out. Anyways, I didn't think Obi-Wan was that bad. But I'm willing to hear your comments on why you thought it was a terrible TV show. I love fielding that shit. Sabine was a huge character in the Rebels series. Gotcha, okay. Sabine running off with a very dangerous artifact got me really annoyed. Yeah, that was one thing, but I think that's supposed to be her character. But the other thing, here's another thing that was like, duh. So like, there was no reason why Sabine the character was more equipped than anyone else to figure out that map. She had no special tech, she had no special knowledge, she had nothing. She was just good at solving the puzzle. It's like, in the beginning of the show, Ahsoka solves a puzzle to figure out how to get the fucking thing in the first place. It's like, what about Sabine was special? Why? They mentioned it several times. They're like, you know she's the only one that can figure out what this map means, right? And then you just watch her solve this very basic puzzle, and it's like, okay, whatever. That's the kind of thing that I'm just...
The chosen one.
Right. That's the kind of thing I'm choosing to ignore, because it's like, I could literally, while watching both of those shows, I could write those things out a million times, but you know, there's a channel that already does that, and it's called Cinema Sins. If you want to watch every sin a movie has ever committed, or maybe even a TV show, watch a Cinema Sins episode. And that's basically my inner monologue while I watch one of these Star Wars shows. But otherwise, they're fine. They're fun. I like them. They're not as good as Andor. Andor was actually pretty okay. I enjoyed that one more. But yeah, tell me why you hated Obi-Wan. Also, spoilers probably in chat now when they describe that. Let me know what they say.
Exigent Midnight says, Cinema Sins went from plot holes in a movie to screenwriting choices I didn't like.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah, Cinema Sins is not good content anymore.
No?
Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, there's also a litany of examples where they criticize something in a movie only for it to be explained why that's the case, like literally a moment after the
that is a critiquer's cinema sin right there. That's a critique sin.
Yeah.
If you can't wait that long to figure out the answer to your question.
Yeah. Why are they making this choice? So that it's like the next line is like, this is obviously the only choice because... The original trilogy implied everyone can wield the Force, you just have to train for it, is something that Guild Line brings up. I'm not sure. Kind of?
What does it have to do with what we're talking about, though? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing a comment that is relevant to our ongoing discussion.
I mean, Carnegie is my biggest gripe with the show for so far, as it feels like you have to have watched Rebels to know half of what's going on. I mean, that's the critique of any of these long-time, ongoing... cinematic universes where it's just like, who is that? Yeah. What is happening?
Yeah,
I don't know who these people are.
I had...
Is that Spider-Man?
Yeah. I had randomly watched the third episode 3. Just because I was like, I just wanted to watch it. And I watched that. And then I watched Obi-Wan. And it turned out that was the perfect thing to do, to be set up to watch and understand Obi-Wan. That didn't require much knowledge in TV shows, which was nice. Try showing a kid a Marvel. Yeah, Marvel was also very guilty of this idea, or this problem. I should be doing this with white oil ink and not with acrylic paint. I'm like trying to wash the rib cages with white paint just so that I can make them look like they're glowing inside.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Azathoth resubscribing at tier 1, 20 months, says, next year come to Novo, you pleb.
Maybe. We'll see.
ReaperCon is what I feel like I missed out on, honestly. Even though a bunch of my friends were also at Nova.
Yeah, Nova happened. ReaperCon happened. I saw some people mention that you guys were there. Who went?
To which one?
Both of them.
ReaperCon, like a bunch of the local paint club went. At least 5 people that I know of. All of them won some level of medals. A couple of silvers, a lot of bronzes for the painting competition.
Okay, I'm not seeing any comments about why people think Obi-Wan was a shit show. I'm talking about other Star Wars related things.
Yeah, it seems like people are more focused on Ahsoka.
Right, so we're going to move on beyond Obi-Wan. That's fine. I've only seen 2 episodes of Ahsoka, so I can't really comment on it. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. There are, when you watch any one-off fantasy movie, there are a lot of moments when they say things and you have to infer what's going on. And so I'm okay with that, a little bit of that. I thought I wouldn't be okay with that. But after having watched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I didn't really understand what was going on, but I figured it out. It didn't like destroy the movie for me. So yeah, I'm doing okay in Ahsoka so far. But it does make it harder to understand. So I do understand the complaints. Yeah, dude. The hiding Leia under the trench coat was fucking. What is going on here? Like, never in a million years is this gonna work. Yeah, I'm glad that it didn't work. That was fucking. There's a lot of moments like that in the TV show that you kind of have to just ignore. Yeah. I enjoyed the little girl. I enjoyed Leia. I felt like, yes, this is Leia. She is. Everything about her, the way she's acting, makes sense. And they even say it in the TV show. They're like, Obi's like, I understand why you are acting the way you're acting, and it's because of your mom and your dad, and here are the traits that came from your mom and your dad, and that felt cool. I enjoyed that quite a bit, actually. The epic chase scene in the woods, that's another thing. It's like they're trying to drag it out to make it seem exciting, but it's like, yes, these grown adults are going to catch this child. It would happen instantaneously. Not after 10 seconds of running away. And like there's like all these moments where like the people are like right next to her and it's like just grab her arm and they're like, oh, I missed. And it's like, bro, come on. Yeah, a lot of eye roll moments. But yeah. I recently heard this I think maybe even Evan said it, maybe you didn't say it, Evan. Someone said to me, it's like humans are way more likely to accept the impossible than they are the improbable when watching content, movies, TV shows. And so I
did say that to you, but I stole it from someone else. So.
Okay. But like the idea here being, well, this is a sci-fi universe, like we should be way less critical of what's going on in the story. And I kind of feel that way too. So I'm trying to kind of let go of stuff like that. I still rate the movie lower for having a ton of it, but I'm still able to enjoy it despite it occurring, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
There's this interesting thing that I've noticed recently that's kind of an add-on to that. In movies and books, people hate coincidence. It feels really bad when the thing that moves the plot forward is, wow, they just happened to be at the same train station as this person that they were looking for.
Yes.
Inadvertently or whatever.
Yes.
And you're like, that's lazy or whatever. But when that happens when you're playing like a video game or some other experience like that, like you're playing tabletop RPGs or whatever, people go nuts. They think it's awesome. Where it's just like you're failing forward is a fun thing in a game, which is completely opposite to when you're watching a movie.
Okay. That's an interesting thought.
Chat, can we see what he's painting right now?
Am I in the way?
There we go. Much better.
I didn't move at all, Evan. What do you mean much better? I literally didn't move. I froze. What happened?
I think it was the timing of, I said, chat, can we see what you're painting? And you moved your head for the next swipe, and then you were out of the way.
Yeah, okay.
Because you were blocking the gem with your cheek.
The gem. Okay. Scott seems to have a lot of child grabbing experience. The final episode of Obi-Wan was so bad. Like, we all know Luke is going to live, but then how the heck is he not aware of the Jedi or who Obi-Wan is when he gets kidnapped by an Inquisitor? And then Obi-Wan later literally gives him his favorite toy. I thought the implication of Luke was just that he doesn't know anything about Jedi or about Obi-Wan at all. He was brought as a baby, and Obi's been kind of just chilling there this entire time. But I don't fucking know. Okay, yes. Okay, Ali, 100% right. The suspension of disbelief is not well maintained, and that's another moment in Obi-Wan where it's like someone lights a bunch of rocks on fire, and they're in the middle. They're out in the open. They're in nature, and there is like a 20-foot wide burning line, and Obi's on the other side getting whisked away, and it's like, none of you motherfuckers can move around this thing and go and get this man as he is limping away and being dragged because he's burning and injured. It's like, bruh, like, whatever, he gets away, you know? You just gotta you gotta let it go sometimes. And that's what I've tried to train myself to do that, because that was a ridiculous moment. You are right. The last scene in Obi-Wan where he hands the toy and says, hello there. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a meme. Vader officially 0-2 with fire. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was definitely my biggest problem with the TV show. A lot of issues with writing that affected my suspension of disbelief. But yeah. Otherwise, great lightsaber choreography. I'm actually noticing that those guys, Obi-Wan and Anakin, are particularly good at fighting, I think. Having just watched episode 3, they're just really good. They're really good at play sword fighting. And I enjoy watching them do that.
Well, that's an interesting quote. Rufus Kid says, Obi-Wan was the prequel apologists writing a show.
The prequel apologist.
Yeah, people who say that those movies aren't that bad. Those movies are pretty bad.
So you're saying that Obi-Wan appeases those people?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
It just says Vader officially 0-2 with fire.
Yeah, dude. Vader struggles with fire. Let me tell you.
I'm ready for the next season. Obi-Wan's going to just wave a torch at him, and Vader's going to go, fire bad. Ah!
Obi-Wan had the best arc of a secondary character. Are you saying that? Oh, you're saying Leia, right? The secondary character is Leia? I think Leia was the little girl was fantastic in that. Oh yeah, you're right. I haven't watched episode 1 again. So Maul versus Ewan McGregor may also be an amazing fight. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah. I don't know. Star Wars is doomed to be fucking campy and lame.
That's why Andor is good.
Yeah. That's okay. I still really enjoyed it. I actually had this idea over the weekend that I asked Jay from Eon's Battle about. I was like, can I run an Enfys Nest style army in Legion where it's like all rebel speeder bikes? Like, that'd be so fucking cool. It's possible. You have to kind of like, work around it with maybe conversions, 3D printing and stuff. It isn't exactly supported, but that'd be a lot of fun to do, actually. Until he's randomly on my Death Star. Yeah. That's the other thing. They literally walk into the Jedi Inquisitor fortress. All the main characters. And they all get out other than one unimportant side person dying. And it's like, how do you, as the beginner rebel faction, this is not even an idea yet, walk into one of the strongest strongholds in the Empire, the Sith Empire at least, that version of it, and get out? How does this plan work? It was so far-fetched. But again, I just mentioning more things that make it hard to believe what's going on. Absolutely ridiculous, yeah. Kind of Defrost, I kind of feel that way. And maybe I am, so Defrost is saying that Star Wars is going the way of Transformers. And maybe it's just that I enjoy Star Wars, the franchise, more than I enjoy Transformers. So I'm more willing to like allow them to fuck up and still enjoy the content. By allow, I mean I'm going to continue to watch this despite it being bad. Maybe that's what it is. But I kind of feel like Star Wars is a little bit better than Transformers. But again, I'm probably biased. Andor is your favorite Star Wars. When you say period, do you mean like sentence period or like Andor is your favorite timeline?
I think he means his favorite piece of Star Wars media.
Okay.
Sentence period.
Sentence period, okay.
Yeah, Andor was, in my opinion, pretty much perfect. The only problem I have with it is that the character is supposed to be 20 or 21. And the actor playing the character is 42 or something.
Jin? Ursa? Oh no! Oh, Cassian Andor. Oh, okay,
yeah. In the show when it's taking place, he's supposed to be 21, and don't get me wrong, hot movie star guy is ageless, is the meme, but he don't look 21. Yeah, exactly.
What are you saying exactly, too?
Rufus says, yeah, he's like 10 years older than when he played his character 10 years later. Because in Rogue One is supposed to take place about 10 years after Andor.
Right.
So he was early 30s in that movie and early 30s when he played that character in that movie.
Yes.
It's fine. I probably would have been... well, that's definitely not true. J. Lee Lucas. There are definitely 21-year-olds that can act that well. It's fine. If they had de-aged him, it would have been worse.
Yeah, I think Evan is searching for something to not like about Andor.
Right, exactly. It's a criticism that didn't occur to me until after I watched the show. And then I was like, oh, wait, what? Why did they do this? But it's also one of those things that's just they're trapped by his character in Rogue One, and they want Andor to take place well in advance of that, to have room between the two. It's fine. It's not that big a deal.
Also in Rogue One, it's funny, he mentions that he's caught in a jail, and he feels uneasy about that, so he's trying to figure out how to get out. And so he talks to Baze Mobius and the other guy there, and he's like, he asks him, "Are you uncomfortable in a cage?" Whatever his name is. I don't know how he refers to him. And he's like, "Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been behind bars." And it's like, it isn't. Like, he was in jail for an extended period of time in Andor.
Yeah.
But like, again, that movie came before Andor did, so whatever.
Yeah, that's the sort of stuff where it's like, I can forgive it a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's also the element of he's a spy and he was lying, which is a total cop-out, but also potentially legitimate.
Also, we gotta talk about people stabbing people with lightsabers. I've seen so many people stab with lightsabers and survive. That's fine. But at a certain point, just cut the person in half, bro.
I mean, so lightsabers are a rabbit hole that like we shouldn't go down.
Okay, fine.
Because there's so much dumb stuff about how lightsabers are treated in the universe.
Okay, Rufus Kit, I take back my opinion about why he wouldn't reveal that information. Sure, that's fine. I'll accept the fact that he's a spy and he doesn't want to give away info.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff where you have a retractable and extendable weapon, but it can only be this long. Ever.
Well, Corridor Digital explored.
Yes, the infinitely long lightsaber where they're like blowing up the plane and stuff.
And that had problems, okay?
That's true, but like, Having a dial on your lightsaber or something like that could extend it by, a couple feet.
Yeah.
It is theoretically a low weight or weightless weapon, depending on the media that you're consuming. So, if I'm stuck with a sword, but it's basically weightless, why not have it be a 10-foot long sword?
Right.
That can chop through basically anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, there's something that defends against it. There's all sorts of videos you can find out there of why don't people retract their lightsaber to avoid defenses? Where you retract it and then extend it into a person.
Okay, this is getting deeper than I
exactly. This is why lightsabers are something that you just have to accept that it's dumb and it's just the way it is. They don't kill people effectively. People get chopped in half and survive.
The lightsaber was low on batteries and didn't break the lower intestines. Someone also says that Ahsoka uses a shorter blade, so there are blades that are of different lengths.
They're of different. My point is that there's no variability to them. So you have different lightsabers, but it's like a fixed thing where it's like my lightsaber is 3.5 feet, and it's like, yeah, but why don't you just make it 4 feet? Why don't you adjust it a little bit to your size or whatever?
Right.
Good or question. Your opponent, or what you're fighting against. Yeah, Maul died.
Oh my God, you're right. They did cut someone in half, and he still didn't fucking die.
Yeah, they didn't, Scott. They didn't just cut him in half. They cut him in half and threw him down a giant fucking pit, and he's fine.
The irony of that is so.
It is the least effective weapon in the universe. God. Blasters are outrageously effective in Star Wars. The vast majority of time you see people get hit with blasters, they don't just die; they instantly die.
The number of Jedi that have died in Episode 3 to just exclusively blasters, is insane. But it's fine. I get it. They're getting overwhelmed. They're getting shot. They should die. But also, when you stab a motherfucker with a lightsaber in the stomach,
less damaging.
They should probably die.
Only a D4 damage dice.
There were so many people that I watched get stabbed right in the stomach. Obi-Wan and Sabine Wren, both of them, no, not Obi-Wan, the Grand Inquisitor, right in the stomach, through them.
So here's
both fine.
Here's the thing. That's actually probably accurate. Because it's a self-cauterizing wound.
Right.
The way that most people die from puncture injuries is from internal bleeding or external bleeding.
Right, okay.
Right, they exsanguinate in some way. So yeah, of course a lightsaber isn't that damaging. So why aren't you decapitating people after you defeat them?
Chop them in half.
Right, exactly.
Do something to kill. Clearly you should know about this. This is a weakness of lightsabers.
It's not just a weakness of lightsabers. It's a weakness of a weapon that you have been using traditionally for longer than human history.
Thousands of years, yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic, the video game, I think takes place 20,000 years before the original stuff. I could be misremembering. Maybe it's only 2,000 years. But the point is this isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
You've been fighting people with these weapons forever. And you would know, you have to ensure the kill. It's like fighting zombies or vampires or whatever. Always destroy the heart or the brain.
Right. Yeah.
Not that hard. You assume that your enemy combatant is alive until they are 100% confirmed dead.
Do you know who followed that advice in the Star Wars trilogy?
No, but I'm sure you're going to name someone.
Motherfucking Darth Vader or Anakin chopped off Count Dooku's head, and that guy was dead.
That's true.
And he's never come back. So
you say that.
Yeah,
just you wait.
He's gonna come back with a robot head.
He's gonna be like in Mars Attacks. It's gonna be a head and little spider legs.
Yeah. But yeah, so we could probably make fun of Star Wars for immersion breaking reasons forever. But yeah, I still watched Obi-Wan and enjoyed it. But there were many eye roll moments. Mace Windu, does he chop Mace Windu? Oh, so does Django get stabbed and he's fine? It's an elegant weapon from a more civilized age. It's a cool weapon, obviously, and it's very effective. Just chop the dude's head off.
Yeah, you just have to confirm the kill.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same thing as Blade fighting vampires or whatever. If they're not decapitated, you take care of that after.
Yep.
Oh, I only cut this guy in half? Well, he's immortal. The only way to ensure it.
But yeah, if you are not watching Obi-Wan because you're like, everyone hated it, and you like Star Wars, just watch it. You'll enjoy it.
It's fine. It's okay for Star Wars to be turn your brain off entertainment. I
Yeah.
like plenty of turn your brain off entertainment.
Oh, Jamie decapitated. Okay, of all the episodes, episode 2 is the one I haven't watched recently. I've watched every other one in the last 6 months.
You watched episode 1?
Yeah.
But you skipped episode 2.
I don't know what I'm doing, man. But yeah, man. So from what I remember, episode 2 is literally the worst one ever. But I don't think
no, Phantom Menace is much worse.
Is it? Okay, I mean, but that's not true anyways, because episode 8 is fucking heinous.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the prequels. I'm not even gonna lump in all the sequel trash.
Yeah.
Very pretty movies. That's it. That's the only positive thing I can say about any of the sequel films is that they are very pretty.
Episode 1, so some people are saying episode 1 is amazing. I agree with PC Tyler. It's boring. It moves really slowly.
It's incredibly boring. It has a lot of dumb stuff in it and is jam-packed to the gills with characters that are forgettable, or not forgettable, are non-really plot important. Where it's just like, why are we adding more characters to this script? Is this for royalties? It's a mess of pacing and everything.
Now this is pod raising.
Yeah.
8 is a war crime. 8 is rough, man. When 8 opened with a yo mama joke, I think I died in my seat when I was watching it. It was so fucking rough, dude.
It's what Star Wars needs.
Yeah, dude.
More Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we need Poe Dameron just being a fucking asshole. That's what everyone is asking for.
Yeah, the pod racing video game's okay. It's like the Wipeout games. I enjoy it. 8 has its charms? No. William?
It might.
William?
It might.
No.
I haven't watched it in a while.
I refuse to engage on that. There are no real redeeming features other than still images from the entirety of the sequel films.
That is Evan's opinion and not mine. There's probably redeeming qualities to episode 8. I haven't watched it a second time because I can't manage to bring myself to do it. But there's probably something okay about it. I'll watch it again. Again, it's fun to watch big fucking sci-fi movies. 8 is really close to being a movie, but the things they didn't change left firmly in bad.
I don't know about that. It's just such an ill-conceived everything.
Why do we talk about Star Wars?
Anyway, back to the topic of like Nova Open and AOS, because we're painting AOS on stream. I saw quite a few people were pretty down on where AOS actually is. I saw Seasons of War talking about how they like have, for whatever reason, this competitive patch, what do they call it? The General's Handbook has kind of killed their interest in the game.
So they're down with it means they don't like it?
Yeah, they're down on it rather than down with it. Come on, get hip to the lingo, Scott.
Okay, whatever. AOS is dog shit right now. Okay, where's Peepo Comfy? Peepo, if you're here, what are your thoughts on AOS? Pansy Bears is dog shit. What are the problems? What are the problems with the game?
Soul Blight and OBR are
Dude.
super OP right now.
I know.
It's too bad we weren't doing the play thing this year because like you would have gone from like, yeah, Scott does pretty good to being like, we don't want to play anymore. Scott is like just
Scott is being
them.
a fucking asshole right now. I was interviewing John. John was the first one to get interviewed. And one of the questions in the interview is, who is your biggest opponent? Or who is your worst matchup in the game? And he just pointed to me. He was like, you. It was like, then he goes on to talk about the new book and how fucking brutal it was. And like, it's like, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, and when you guys played, that was before the first round of changes to Soul Blight too. They had only done...
Yeah, that was fresh book.
Yeah, the super, super minor initial FAQs. They hadn't even like done the point value change or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and yeah. They were incredible. They were an incredible faction to play. What is the state of A Song of Ice and Fire currently? Evan would know that better.
The game overall, balance-wise, is actually pretty good, except Night's Watch is not quite as busted as Scott's AOS army, but pretty close. That's I think the brief summary. There's a lot of negativity in the community because the changes seem sort of sporadic, inconsistent, and all over the place for a lot of stuff in the game. One of the neutral units got a colossal buff, and basically everyone, their list building is either how do I solve this unit when I see it on the other side, or how do I most effectively use it, or both, which is not an exciting place for a neutral unit to be in. But
we are flayed men, but 2.0 all over again?
Pretty much. Golden Company swordsmen are in a very similar spot to where flayed men were like a year ago.
Okay.
Anyway, I think the game is overall doing all right. Nationals is here in a week and a half.
Very nice.
Yeah. Vince is in the chat.
What up, Vince?
He says,
Vince,
I don't know. I assume he means AOS. In a very good place overall. Oh, yeah, there we go. Parentheses AOS. But there is a balanced challenge with 2 armies. I'm sure they'll be corrected this month with the battle scroll. Yeah. I don't know. I just saw a lot of negativity post Nova Open on Twitter. A thing that I occasionally partake in. Unlike Scott.
What up, Vince? Happy to have you here, my son. My son. Hope Nova was good for you. I mean, I saw a bunch of pictures. It seemed like a lot of fun.
It did. I watched the Warhammer Weekly reaction to the reveals stream.
Oh my God, bro. That Bretonnian model.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming, bro. Not because it's
Gonna be
chick.
a Cities player next?
Not because it's a chick, but no, she's Bretonnian. She's gotta be Bretonnian, right?
Oh, yeah, excuse me. Gonna go back to the old world.
Bruh, that model is beautiful. I listened to the first 10 minutes of the Warhammer Weekly review, and well, maybe not even 10 minutes. Someone gave it a 6 out of 10. Someone gave it a 5 out of 10 in terms of like how much they liked the review. That chick made it an 8 out of 10. And then the Blood Bowl team, the Vampire Blood Bowl team, 9 out of 10, bro. I feel like everything was coming up Scott right then. That model was amazing. I'm definitely gonna buy that mini. What up, Azturd? Thanks for painting along with us. Great name. There's no golden angle. I felt like the picture they took it from was pretty good. Was that not good? Scott's super into miniature grippers. What does that mean? One amazing Bretonnian model in a sea of 20-year-old sculpts will be tough. I can't remember. Is Bretonnia one of the factions they are working on in Old World? They like put a post out a while ago about like which ones they're actually working on. I can't remember that one. Was it? I wish I could talk to all you people in chat. I want to have all these conversations on.
Yeah, but you got to finish this army.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking A.
I'm gonna take your chat away if you don't watch it, pal.
Take my chat away, no.
Yeah, one amazing Bretonnian model in a sea of 20-year-old sculpts.
Yeah, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
Yeah, have you gone nuts for the Vampire Blood Bowl team, Scott?
Okay. Obviously, I'd play that Blood Bowl if I played Blood Bowl. Them and the Athaloran Adventures. Love them both. Love them both. Also, there's definitely a model or two somewhere in that Blood Bowl box that would absolutely be an amazing conversion for Vampire Lord. In fact, the female, sorry, I don't have a lord that runs my army narratively. I have a lady. Her name is Lady Otilia von Dragos. I have a heavy dragon theme in my army as well. I don't have a lady leader, and there's definitely a model in there that could be used at least as the upper torso for my dragon riding vampire lady. Yeah, let the chair paint while I type away. Probably. But yeah, dude. All right, sick Adric Knight, happy to have you here. Did I miss something else from Vince? You say something else?
Mm.
Okay. But yeah, guys, we have 24 subs on the way to 50 subs. At 50 subs, we're doing a giveaway of a Miniac cutting mat sitting right next to me right here.
It is September. Subs are discounted, baby.
Subs are discounted, so if you sub normally, now's the time, right now.
Buy in bulk.
Dream gift. Yeah, any viewer gets it. We get to 50 subs. So help us out, support the stream. Let's get that giveaway going. I don't need a third one.
They are very good.
Okay, I'm happy with the level of glowiness and how bright this is and stuff. It doesn't need to be amazing. I do want to paint the metal parts though, so I will do that now. I think I'll paint them brown first and then just give them one layer of metallic paint, making sure to keep all that brown nicely in the recesses. And then we'll fix this. I actually broke this banner. It broke off sadly, but it's a very large area, so flattening it and pinning it will be very simple. I need a brown paint.
Neck.
Yeah, I'm looking for a paint right now.
When the neck is that zoomed in, it's like you're an earthworm.
The neck. The neck.
Tilt your head to the side.
For the Lord.
Other side. This is terrible.
Oh, Dwalgrim, thank you for the subs. Appreciate it, y'all.
Gifting subs.
Appreciate it.
They are discounted right now. If you want to do gift subs.
Oh man, I forgot. I need to be putting basing material on the bases so that when I'm done doing what I want to do, the basing material will be closer to drying. So let's do that now. And then I can show you all the models that I've painted for the unit so far.
The kitten just gifted a sub.
Thank you, the kitten. Appreciate it.
We're up to 30 out of 50. Is this going to be a 2 giveaway day?
2 giveaway day. That'd be amazing. Earthworm Sky is my favorite Sega Genesis game. All right. Here's the leader of my unit. They all kind of look like this. He's all done. I did what I said I was gonna do. I actually did both things. I painted all their jaws brass because I think that looks fucking awesome, and it also breaks up the paint job more. And I also gave some of them stripes, one down the middle. I also gave some of them stripes on the sides. I gave some of them no stripes. So there's like a certain ranking based on how many stripes you got.
Variety is the spice of life.
Exactly, and so a couple of those things. All right, I'm using a product called Wet Ground from AK Interactive for my basing in my Soulblight army for the smaller bases. This stuff is like any other texture paste, but it dries kind of glossy in the recesses mostly. And so it looks wet and muddy.
Zemperk wants to know where you got these models from.
These are from a company called Last Sword. I think they make STLs. I think them and Highland Miniatures are the best companies that I've discovered that make models that most closely match GW's design language. My one issue that is not Highland Miniatures has amazing pre-supports. Last Sword, in my anecdotal experience with this unit and also the helmets that I bought, have terrible pre-supported models.
These are the Ordo Draconis, right?
Correct, yeah.
And they have a whole bunch of things that totally aren't AOS inspired.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. A lot of vampire stuff, honestly. So I'm happy.
They do.
I am happy.
I think I just linked to the physical store, and yeah, I believe you also can get STLs, but I'm not sure.
Yes, there are STLs and also resin casts of many of the models on the site. So if you're not into 3D printing, you can just buy them outright. Yes, they're Grave Guard. I'm gonna call them Chalice Guard though, because of the freehand that I've done on the banner, and also because of the Chalice motifs on every single mini. But yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Admittedly, it's not a very creative scheme, red and vampires, but I'm happy with it.
What are you talking about? It's not green.
Did I say?
You said it's not very creative, and it's not green, so it's definitely creative.
Vampires are normally green?
Green is not a creative color, Scott.
I don't understand. I didn't paint them green.
Chat, back me up on this. Green is not a creative color. See, Eon's a Battle knows. Kitten knows. Eternix doesn't, though.
Do you prime over the basic material? In this case, I'm just gonna, this is the final color. So it'll dry a little bit differently, and then I will stick tufts on top of it. And that is all I do for the small bases in my army. For the big bases on like dragons and more Tarks and shit, I went crazier. And I did paint those bases and stuff, but this color is good enough for me. Yeah, normally conventional wisdom has you putting down basic material, priming it, and then painting it. But in this case, I'm taking a leaf out of the page of people who do terrain. They use like a thing called a basing ready mix, where they'll put it down, they'll put scenic sealant glue on top of it, and it's done. And it's like, it looks fine. It looks totally fine. And so I've been trying to kind of incorporate that more in my army painting to save time in certain areas. Oh, is this okay? So it's a fucking reference to some bizarro article on the internet?
Not article, no.
What is this? don'thugme.fandom.com/wikigreens is not a creative color.
Don't hug me, I'm scared is a series of I don't know how you dodged this one. Yeah, oh my god, it's 12 years ago, but it got 75 million views. And you were on the internet 12 years ago.
I was.
You were in college?
I was deep in the internet.
Yeah.
The bowels.
You should have seen this.
Okay, so this is a fucking meme.
More than a meme.
More than a meme.
More than a meme. It's a dream. It's a series of videos that's still continuing to be made. I think they're on like the BBC now or something. But the original was a YouTube video, and they learn how to get creative. It's like puppets and a Cthulhu monster, and they learn about art and the world and life.
Okay.
Put it on the Discord and tag you on it. You can watch it later. You'll enjoy it. It's about 3 minutes long.
Okay. I like the company's Highland Miniatures and Last Sword Rufus kit. I'm also happy to hear anyone else's suggestions for STL makers they believe match GW's design language closely. I've seen quite a few, but those ones consistently deliver for me. There might be a couple of other ones that deliver in a one-off capacity.
Yeah, the key is that design language is not necessarily quality of sculpt. There's lots of really amazing quality sculpts out there that have a different designed aesthetic than what matches AOS.
Yeah.
It's actually my main problem with a lot of Stormcast proxies is that if you put them alongside Stormcast proxies, they look weird. They might not look out of place broadly in the game, but like they're too big a departure from the boys in gold. So,
and it's not necessarily because like the models aren't big enough. Obviously, you can scale up and scale down models, which I have done with these vampires. I printed them at 102%.
Y'all are giving it 110%. Wait, that's not right.
No, that's not right. So yeah, it's more to do with like how big the head is in relation to the torso, how long are the arms, a lot of the ratio of body parts, details on the model. That one's easier to work around though. But yeah, it's mostly the ratio of body parts.
Does that horn have a cat head?
I feel like it does. This is like there's two cat things in here. It's here, and it's the.
It's clearly, I'm looking at it now, and it's clearly supposed to be a bat head, but it reads like a cat.
I know, yeah. The bat head, because there's other bat things on here that are more obvious. But yeah, it is bizarre. I don't know why it looks so much like a cat. Coronary jump. We did talk about Highland miniatures a couple times. E-Man G. I've never heard of E-Man G.
Oh, yeah.
Aternix. Oh.
Spreading rumors that may or may not be true, but I have no way of knowing.
Yeah. That was unfortunate to hear. I also watched Elemental. That was pretty good.
Elemental.
Oh, I also watched the D&D movie.
Which one was Elemental? Was that the Pixar one?
Yeah, that's the one where you have like fire. All the elements are like bodies of people living in Element City together, and like the fire element are the downtrodden, like low caste race apparently.
And that's when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of the story's a lot about that. It's a lot about living up to parents' expectations. And while I didn't relate to a lot of those things, luckily for me, my parents didn't expect a ton of me. Like they weren't breathing down my neck, I should say.
And the key is that you said, luckily for me, they didn't expect a ton of me, which could be read as to say something about what you're doing with your life now.
Sure. But yeah, I didn't mean that in a negative sense, but I was just trying to say that I didn't relate a ton to the narrative.
Right.
But I don't relate to the narrative in Disney movies a lot anymore. But this one, despite that, I still felt moved me more than previous ones, if that makes sense. I watched Strange World. Strange World? Strange New World? That one, I also didn't relate to at all, but didn't speak to me really at all. This one was a lot better. Strange something? I can't remember the name of it. But I thought
there is a Strange World. Is that
I don't know if it's Pixar, if it's Disney or whatever it is.
It's just Walt Disney. Yeah, okay. I didn't see it. What the hell is this? I feel so out of touch. I saw every movie in theaters in like 2007 or whatever, and now it's like I'm like, what is this? I don't know anything about this. I'm old.
But yeah, that one was good.
Mike Genie wants to know, what is the last kids movie that really got you, Scott?
Oh,
Full Waterworks.
Soul. I
still haven't watched Soul.
Soul made me weep.
What about Inside Out?
I can't remember. I have watched it. I remember it not being bad at all. But I can't remember it like being like full on Waterworks.
That shit works on me every time.
Every time? I should watch it again then.
People always get sad at the opening of Up.
Oh yeah, Up's another one that gets a lot of praise for making people cry. Triopsgrath, thanks to the Prime sub, appreciate it.
19 months. Been a while since I've been able to join. I hope all is well.
Thank you.
Most things are well.
Most things are well. Manzac Miniatures, I agree with you. I don't know why there isn't an infantry-based vampire unit that meshes well with the aesthetic of the current range. There's obviously the kind of more East Asian influenced unit from Warcry, and they are playable in AOS, but aesthetically they don't really line up with what's going on in the current range. CTSA Jira. Yeah, the music in Soul was great as well. Encanto was good. I saw Encanto. I enjoyed Encanto. I related to that one a little bit more than the Elemental. But yeah, I mean, Disney and Pixar got it figured out, man. They know how to hit that 7 out of 10 bar, bare minimum.
Coco.
I haven't seen Coco.
It's that movie about a dog.
No. Actually, Coco and Encanto are both about a Spanish derived like family, right? Or is it Mexican? Both Hispanic, I think. I can't remember. I remember Coco and there being like a Day of Dead influence and stuff like that in it. But I don't think I've seen Coco actually. Coco's Mexican, Encanto's Colombian. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Oh wait, no, I did see Coco because it's like a weird uncle who was like hidden from the family for a while and they like found him and shit. I think I have seen Coco. If that storyline makes
Lummox
sense.
Beast, subscribe with Prime.
Thank you, Lummox
Almost
Beast.
has hit a year.
Oh,
You could buy in advance. September means it's discounted.
that's Encanto. Thank you. Appreciate it, y'all. I can't remember everything. Sorry. So maybe I didn't watch Coco then.
How to Train Your Dragon was really good.
Yeah, that one was definitely fun.
How to Train Your Dragon 2 was also really good. I did not see the third one, I think. I'm a bad consumer. I did, however, on the topic of being a good consumer, I did beat Armored Core again.
Nice.
I got to beat it 3 times to get all the missions and endings.
Dude, okay. I don't think I've seen Coco because someone is talking about the plot and it sounds kind of epic, actually.
Pansy Bear, I have read all of the existing Stormlight Archive stuff. I haven't moved on to Mistborn. I'm not going to probably. But looking forward to the next book.
You're supposed to buy new games and not play them?
Don't worry. I'll buy a new game, and I will play it. I'm going to buy Starfield at some point.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Xander Zone 2424 gifting 5 subs,
Thank you, Xander Zone.
moving us towards that giveaway. Yeah, that's true, but then I'll have to keep repaying for access, and also modding has been a big pain in the ass for any games on Game Pass. Like, I was playing MechWarrior 5 on the Microsoft launcher, but it's not compatible with every mod on Nexus, and that's unacceptable, so I waited for it to go on sale and bought it for like $8, even though I don't really like PGI that much.
Someone asked, is this the best way to get a cutting mat? Just buying one is probably the best way.
The best way to get a cutting mat is to subscribe and enter a raffle where you have like a roughly 1 in 100 chance of winning. Which is pretty good odds for a raffle.
Yeah.
Or you can go to miniac.co and buy all sorts of fine gear. And while you're live, we're live. You can, there we go, put a little message in your checkout thing and get a little on-screen shout out. And as long as I'm paying attention, I'll try and read it. Jimmy Hayes, if I win, can I double or nothing for Scott's Sweet Beanie? I don't know how you would double. Like, what is the second bet? We do another 1 in 100 raffle? Jimmy Hayes, that sounds exceedingly difficult. I mean, first raffle is, I mean, we don't know the odds until it happens, but between 1 in 50 and 150. And then the second one is the same. So if we just take the middle number, 1 in 100, and then do it twice, that takes it from being 1 in 100 to 1 in 10,000, right?
It's taking me far too long, Jimmy Hayes, to find his beanie. I'm not giving it up. It's my beanie.
It's the perfect beanie that doesn't actually cover his ears or do anything.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. Did my masking work? It did. I see no. Oh, other than that sword getting a little bendy. Looking good, Mr. Bannerbear, other than I unceremoniously ripped your banner off.
He deserved it.
Looking good otherwise. Yeah, you deserve it. Math homework stream. I am wait, what? Oh, for the giveaway shit. Yeah. One thing I've discovered about this resin is that while it absolutely is more flexible, there's more to durability than just flexibility. If I can lean on a detail 3 times and it creates microfractures and then just tears off, it's not super durable, but it is bendy. It just doesn't shatter in a million pieces like something more brittle might. So yeah.
Well, this comes down to the old, you've probably heard a quadrillion times that diamonds are the hardest substance known to man. Right?
Yes.
Maybe arguably true. It does not mean that diamonds are the strongest.
Yeah, we don't make armor out of diamonds and...
Yeah, it's still a crystal structure that can easily shatter based off of loading and all sorts of situations.
Yeah.
It's incredibly durable when used properly, but it's also incredibly brittle. So yeah. Hard is not strong.
Yes. And that same
Sometimes hard is strong. If you know what I'm saying. You know, like steel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Not my dick!
Damn.
What texture paste are we using? We are using...
he's going to show it off on camera.
AK Wargame Terrain Wet Ground. This stuff. I like it because it's about the right color that I wanted for my bases, and it's just glossy automatically, and it's got texture built in. So it does many things right for me. Okay, I need some poster tack so I can get some of this poster tack off my banner so that I can... Well, actually, let me just paint the metal first. I'll do the metal first. Forgot about that. It's funny to watch you fight your impulse to put your brush in your mouth when it's covered in texture paste. Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's tough.
I've definitely done it.
I'm putting terrible things in my mouth. Fucking Goo Gone.
That's what she said.
Fucking probably mineral spirits, probably oil paint. It's a terrible habit.
Hey Scott, what's the best way to get a moss effect?
The easiest and best way to get a moss effect is to use Dirty Down's moss product. I don't know. Maybe another way would be to get like an electric green chartreuse oil paint. Oil wash it with that to get like some lovely green down in the recesses where moisture would collect and then kind of build on that effect. But for a one coat, don't think. So far, Dirty Down's moss effect is the best, but it is expensive though.
Oh, they're in a bunch of shops now. That's cool. Here are all the games that carry Dirty Down in store, including The Forge locally and The Source locally.
Nice. Mix spackle with green paint, then dry brush with a lighter green. Interesting. Another way just to use a product instead of trying to build it is getting grass, static grass that is a very short, 2 millimeter length static grass. While it doesn't look exactly like moss, maybe you can get 1 millimeter. That looks really close to kind of moss. Linnaeus Angel says he's painting your card because of me. That's awesome. Glad to hear it.
Did you see the upcoming Malev game announcement, Scott?
Yes, he's been talking to me about it. Is it called The Pit?
It's called Malev's BBQ Pit Lord.
It's called Pit Lord. Yeah,
Pit Lord, but it's definitely we're now pushing for it to be a barbecue game.
Poor guy. Can't fucking make a game. People trying to change the name of it.
It looks actually sweet. What I'm really pushing for is to embrace the meme and make it one of the stretch goals for the back room for a either a chef character or like chef's hats on a sprue. Now we're talking.
Or like tongs for grilling.
Yeah, exactly. Like an alternate build option for one of the demons of hell. Because I mean, the thing is I know you're not a Diablo player, but the most iconic character in Diablo, in my opinion, is not actually Diablo, Mephisto, Baal, whatever, you know, like the actual Lords of Hate. It's the Butcher, which is just a big demon dude that runs at you with a cleaver and yells, "Oh, fresh meat!" It's Pudge. It's Pudge before Pudge existed.
It's Pudge. Okay.
Pretty much.
Now you're speaking my language.
And so, putting that in your demon hellspawn fighting game, I'm down with. And if you can embrace the BBQ pit memes on top of it, that's a win in my book. It looks pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Ghost Boats, so I'm sure it'll be great.
I think this is his attempt at. Oh no, I don't think it's 1v1. I think it's like a 3v3. It's like an arena-based fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to. I want to try it out. He said he would send me the rules to read and get some feedback on at some point. So I'm looking forward to reading those rules. I just read rule books apparently now. I don't play games anymore. I just read rule books.
Yeah.
It's easy to figure out. It's not easy, but you figure out a lot from a game by reading its rule book.
I'll tell you what, I've played a lot of games of Song in the last week.
I'll tell you what.
I've been playing online.
Oh, I saw you in Discord on Tabletop Sim.
Yeah.
At some point. That's what you were doing?
Yeah, I finally came out of pre-retirement to slap people around with Night's Watch. I'm currently undefeated online.
You gotta warm up for
Nats.
For natties.
I'm not playing any of my Nats lists in these games. I just realized that I still don't have the Night's Watch badge on stats, so I'm like, well, I gotta play a game, at least one game with each commander.
That's how you get the badge?
You get a grayed out version if you play a game with each commander. You get the color version of it if you win a game with each commander, and you get a little bag, like the neutral symbol bag, on top of it, like in the bottom corner, if you also win with all of the neutral commanders.
This is bringing me back to Warcraft 3.
Yep.
Matchmaking days where when you get 20 wins as undead, you get a ghoul icon. When you get 50 wins, you get a fiend icon. When you get 150 wins, you get a whatever icon. It's definitely bringing me back to there. What up, Hattie? What up, Hattie? Oh, it's Hattie from Midwinter Minis. What up, Hattie? If you glue dirt on the base, keep the dirt moist while leaving it in your backyard in the shade. It should get some. Okay, you're just saying to literally grow moss with water and moisture and bacteria.
It's good.
It's good.
Bring that into your house.
It's good advice. Everyone should listen to this person. I'm memeing. It's a bad idea.
We can grow minis.
Yes.
You want your undead to look really undead? Just raise some like rat skeletons.
Just kill a man.
Yeah.
And raise them into unlife.
My bone doesn't look good enough. I'm gonna buy a femur online and carve miniatures from it.
Crypt Fiend icon, best boy. Crypt Fiend icon. That was when you were more of a serious undead player. I don't think I ever got the fiend icon. I think I only got the ghoul icon, and undead was my main. But then again, I was a 10-year-old, so wasn't a very good gamer back then.
Stop making me feel old.
When Warcraft Reign of Chaos came out, I was in 4th grade. I remember it. I brought the box to class to show my homies. I was like, check out this fucking sick video game.
So I was a freshman when that came out then?
Remember back in the day when you bought PC games in boxes? And sometimes those boxes had like a little lid they opened and you could see more shit inside.
Yep,
Yeah,
I was
like, I was in college.
no, I was a freshman in high school.
Okay. You got paint on my lips?
Or I was about to be a freshman in high school. Yeah, that is correct.
Do you have any non-GMO minis? With these guys, I did the thing where I gloss varnished them and applied an oil wash that was like super thin down. And I was actually really happy with how that worked out. So it did an amazing recess shade with very little effort on my part required. So that was kind of nice.
Was that game made in the same engine as Halo Wars? Am I remembering that correctly?
What game?
I'm talking to chat. Digital Soul wants to know, for your Song of Ice and Fire minis, do you remove them from the Sigmar base before or after painting them?
After painting them, I remove them, and then I put them on their pre-painted base.
Yeah, the Sigmar minis are super glued to the base. Or some type of CA glue, whatever, right? So it can be really, really easy to remove them if you put them in the freezer first.
I have not tried that yet. I just kind of bust them off.
Yeah, I've done busting them off. I've done clipping them off and stuff. Most of the time that works fine, but occasionally there's like one really spindly leg or whatever. Putting them in the freezer for 15 minutes and then just giving them a slight wiggle and they'll just pop right out.
Okay, that's solid advice. Okay. This probably could be painted better. It could probably have like OSL glowing all over the place and shit like that, but fuck it, it's fine. Looks fine. It's gonna be on top of a banner that's ridiculously tall anyways, so. I like the glow, it looks good too. All right, let's get some poster tack so we can get rid of the poster tack that I use for masking. And then we will pin the banner back on, put the tufts on, paint the base rims, and be done. Here's my poster.
And the moss effect.
Right, yeah, the tufts. Not gonna lie, you made me fall in love with vampires again. I love to hear that.
Yeah. Tim Curry was great in Command & Conquer Red Alert.
Okay, poster tack off of that. Oh, I did not do a good enough job masking his hand. That's not poster tack. That is just cream colored paint. Oops.
It's OSL from the fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Oh, this is too zoomed in. Okay. Let's fix up that hand. And then we'll pin it all down.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw.
What's the actual name of that there Warhammer plus vampire?
Oh, it's something von Karsten. It's something with an A something. Fuck, I can't remember.
Help me out here, chat.
Speaking of vampires, how about that Blood Bowl team? Yeah, Blood Bowl team's great. Cannot wait to try it out. Try it out with some conversions. I'm glad to hear that, Craig Ubers. Good luck in getting your commission service started up. What do I think about the Warhammer Plus Vampire? I think it's great. I don't get the hair. I feel like, I don't know. The way they described the hair verbally was that it was going to be like some kind of like classic vampire hairstyle. And I guess it kind of is, but it also looks like their Blood Knight design, which just looks ridiculous to me. It's not ridiculous considering that all their riders have their hair blowing in the wind. But it's like, why would a stationary person or someone on foot have that same hair effect? It's a little bit weird.
You know what it is?
What is it?
It's because the helmet's that same shape and they want it to have the same silhouette.
That can't be it.
I promise you that's what's going on here.
It's such a bad...
Hang on. I'll show it on stream.
I mean, like, I think you're right, but I don't think that's why they would choose to make that choice.
I think that's why they would choose to make it, because the designers learn from video games, and video games love doing that stuff for silhouette identification.
Gotcha.
There you go. This is the picture of both versions. Right next to each other. It's exactly the same shape. She's just got a really bad case of helmet hair, you see.
That's what it is, yeah. A little bit too much detail in the armor, but whatever. That's nothing new. Yeah, I would definitely buy that, head swap it, and I would love it. Looks cool.
The one without the helmet, I don't know if this is the sculpt or the paint job, but she looks like she's smelling someone else's bad fart. The one on the bottom left, she's kind of like, oh.
I didn't get that.
Back me up here, chat.
I mean, you're right. She's got a face kind of like that, but I feel like you could make the same argument for like 1/3 of GW's catalog.
Maybe.
That's
right. A season.
Let's flatten off this banner, and then we'll give it a pin. She's breathing in the glorious stench of death. Love it. A little pilot hole started here. Okay, got a nice little hole. I'm not even a super big fan of the helmeted head, to be totally honest. I always kind of like my characters to have an unhelmeted head. So the helmet isn't terrible, but I just prefer unhelmeted heads in general.
I like helmets that are cool, but not like stupid.
Yeah, I think I also agree with that.
Hence why I got all the different helmets for my Stormcast. Because I think their regular helmets are mostly stupid.
Whoa. Bendy Bannerman. We kind of just put some metallic paint on this random ass box that he's standing on.
Mike Genie says, I'm gonna put that vampire lady in the meat grinder.
The meat grinder.
I think the grinder at Adepticon is now too well known. I think it may be a case of we were there before it got big.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. I'm just concerned that event would be less fun with like 300 people trying to play.
I don't know. If everyone's shouting at the same time.
That's true. It would definitely be a more loud experience.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
Hey, Miniac, can't stay. Turn up 28 content, please. Hey, Mr. Strothman. I don't like turn up 28. I don't get vegetable-headed people. So, no. Unless you can convince me. In general, I think anthropomorphic people are stupid. I think it's an incredibly forced design idea, and then to do the same thing with like VeggieTales, turnip head people is just like, no, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like in Star Wars, there was a cat person that saved a cat baby, and I was just like, how?
Do Turnip 28 minis all have turnips for heads?
I don't know. I don't even know. I've just seen stuff from, painted by people on Instagram that I appreciate.
Coronary, I wasn't going to jump down his throat for it, but you definitely caught something.
Sorry, anthropomorphic designs.
Anthropomorphized objects, animals, etc.
I mean,
Take that, Egypt.
I don't care. I don't care if Egypt uses it. It does not mean I have to fucking like it, and I don't.
Scott, but I like that thing.
Yeah, it's just like
there are people who like that thing.
That's fine. You could like it. That's fine. You hate Beauty and the Beast? I don't like it necessarily. I don't necessarily like it. I just think it's very lazy, It's like I was reminded of it when watching Star Wars. It's like there's a person with a fish head, and they got fish hands, but otherwise they're exactly a normal human being. And it's just like that's just lazy. It's just lazy. It's not interesting to me. Same with the cat person in Obi-Wan. It's just like, okay, you're just a person with a cat head, cat paws, but you're a normal human being. I just didn't like it. Doesn't mean you can't like it though.
It's because Scott's not an anime fan.
Does Scott hate Chalice Knights because they're mushroom people? Those are people that turned into mushrooms because of the blight or whatever the Bloom's Reach.
See. So then it doesn't count.
Yeah, but like mushrooms aren't even really like a thing. They're like, I mean, again, my favorite people in Yavsiga are the Offseti Walkers, not necessarily the Mushroom Knight people.
Ash, well, A5H, but Ash donated $5 and says, "Hey man, wondering if you or someone in chat might sell me a bottle of Chimera's Cartici Red.
Cartacci Red.
It's hard to find a place to buy a single bottle of it in the USA.
Yeah. Thank you for the donation, Ash. Also, thank you that you always kind of show up and donate anyways. I appreciate that. I do have Cartacci Red, and I am not using it, but I would like to keep it, unfortunately.
So selfish.
Yeah, but I feel bad saying that because I don't really need it.
Scott could run out of paints.
I'd rather
This is
sell the
also
whole...
not the Miniac paint store. I'm only giving Scott shit because it's my job.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I could sell you the whole set maybe. It just feels weird to sell part of it. Scott loves anime. He doesn't know it yet.
I think that's actually true for what it's worth.
So lore-based loophole. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't like Lizardman. I don't like Skaven. I'm consistent, I feel like.
Scott doesn't like Skaven. He's not cool.
I just don't like the idea of anthropomorphic designs. I think they're lame. I think they're unimaginative. It's okay to be wrong about Skaven, Scott.
Pretty much.
No.
So then you don't like OC Bone Reapers.
Why is that anthropomorphic?
Because they have a whole bunch of designs that are cobbled together from multiple things into the shape of a big person.
Okay, one, I don't like Osiak Bone Reapers. That's fine. But it's not because of anthropomorphic designs. They're just skeletons.
No. Only the regular dudes are just skeletons.
Majority of the army is just skeletons.
The majority of the army is like skeleton machines made out of lots of skeletons.
That is not the majority of the army.
Okay.
There are cavalry. There are several infantry-based units. There are several characters that are just skeleton dudes. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. I'm looking now.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Scott doesn't like the feelings that stir deep within him when he sees a thick anthro rat daddy. I mean, yeah.
Howdy.
I think I feel that. Thank you.
I know what this is.
Yes. Anthropomorphic is non-human on human figure. But I think he's talking about animals specifically.
Yeah, he means anthropomorphized animals and other stuff.
I guess animals are the thing that is coming to mind most often. Trying to think of other examples.
I guess when I think about OBR, I just think about their big stuff.
They're made out of bones, but I would not call them just skeletons. I want Scott and Vincey V to debate about Skaven on top. Sure, let's do it. Or wood elves with deer legs. I do not like satyrs and fawns. Centaurs are different.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually can call Osiarch Bone Reaper skeletons. Because, like, hang on. Let me get a good picture here of one of their, like, even their foot soldier dudes aren't really skeletons. Like, look at this guy. Yeah, he's bone inspired, but it's like he's wearing, like, armor made out of bone meal. Right? Like his leg pieces and stuff.
Again, I don't like Osiarch Bone Reapers. They are incredibly chunky, but, like, to say that's not a skeleton is, like, you are technically correct, but it is
the only kind of correct that Evan has ever cared about.
Calcium Necron.
Yeah, pretty much. That is actually a good way of putting it.
Yeah. All right. We got the holes drilled. Let's get some super glue, and we'll pin these bad boys.
Osiarch Bone Reapers are more like Osiarch Stone Reapers.
Hey.
Because, I mean, it's only bone as long as it's in bone format. If you grind it up and turn it up into other stuff, you're pretty close to just making things out of stone at that point.
So someone mentioned that demons are anthropomorphized as well.
True.
Demons aren't necessarily human.
They're anthropomorphized depictions of evil souls.
I'm fine with those. Get at me. You know? I don't have to
Get hating in the comments.
Sometimes I feel the overwhelming need to explain how I feel. And I often ask people the reasons for why they feel how they feel. But, I think the biggest reason for me is that it just seems like a lazy design. But because my brain has already grokked the idea of demons and is down with it, I don't see them as the same sin. But I guess technically maybe they are. I don't know.
So you're saying that you hate on the Minotaur in Hades?
Yeah, I don't care for that.
Wow.
I don't hate the Minotaur as a character.
He hates the Minotaur.
But if I had to make a miniature, or if I had to pick a miniature to paint, I would very rarely choose an anthropomorphic character.
Yeah, but you liked the characters in Super Fantasy Brawl, and a lot of them were weird anthropomorphic things.
I did not like the anthropomorphic ones.
He liked them.
I might like them. Here's the thing. Sometimes I learn things about myself. I thought I didn't like the little baby girl who's actually really strong and scary, that design motif. But then I played Leviah, and then I was like, Leviah fucks. She's awesome. And because of that gameplay experience, I actually now I'm okay with that. So maybe it just takes the right gameplay experience to enjoy anthropomorphic characters. I don't know. I'm willing to admit that I may change in the future, as I would hope everyone is willing to admit.
No, my beliefs now are what my beliefs should be forever, and any change is a sign of both weakness and a lack of masculinity. And I should be criticized for it forever.
It's cutting so deep right now. How about Orion?
I always thought it was really funny when politicians would be labeled flip-floppers.
Yeah.
this is definitely a both sides thing because people will attack them for being inconsistent. It's like, yeah, but if they were wrong before and they take the correct position in the future, I am not going to attack someone for changing their mind from the wrong thing to the right thing.
Right.
Yeah, God forbid someone learn and grow. But yeah, no, I am an alpha, and so my beliefs now are what they should forever be, bro.
I think the super alpha term is Sigma now.
Oh yeah, you're right. I am beyond alpha.
Because Sigma means I know I'm the best, but I don't care. So that's definitely the most Chadley. But yeah, maybe it just takes the right anthropomorphic character for me to be like, yeah, okay, I'm down with a rat person or any type of animal person. Changing based on new information, weak.
Yeah. Real strong men don't need to change. They change the world around them.
That's just beauty right there.
I'm not wrong. You're all wrong.
Based. Yeah, fuck yeah, based. There are someone asked about Orion. Yes, I don't like Orion because he's a satyr. I think it's actually kind of ironic that wood elves chase beastmen out of their forest while the main guy is a beast man. That has never made sense to me. And yeah, I don't like the new underworlds thing. Not that new. But yeah, my feelings are consistent even within wood elves. Scott, do you like Chewbacca? He's never been a favorite character of mine, but just because he's in Star Wars, he's pretty cool. But no, I don't
He has the best lines of dialogue.
Nice.
After Lobot. Lobot definitely has the best speech in all of Star Wars.
I don't hate Chewie. I definitely like fucking Jar Jar Binks. Christ. No, I don't hate Chewie. I just, again, he's not one of my favorite characters. He's good for some comedic relief, though. Chat's really testing my...
Yeah, now they're asking you about Yoda. Careful, Icarus.
I don't have really many thoughts about Yoda. He's fine, but I don't think of anthropomorphic designs when I think of Yoda. You're gonna ask me about literally every alien race in Star Wars now? It's mostly animals that I'm familiar with being plastered on a human body with zero thought.
Yes.
It's interesting. What about Salacious Crumb? The new elves coronary jump.
Scott is saying that he prefers the aesthetics of Jabba the Hutt to Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Which is... Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, what's wrong with Jabba the Hutt?
He's pretty ugly, yo.
Yeah, he's ugly. I won't deny that.
That staff does not seem straight.
You would be correct.
It's pretty bendy.
It's struggling right now.
Is it like wedged in there or something?
I think it is a little bit. I think it's pinched a bit. I think I have to pull the arm up a bit.
You could just trim the bottom a tiny bit.
I could. That would definitely be a solution.
It's blowing in the wind. That would be a very strong wind.
Yes, it is blowing in the wind. He must really hate the Wookiee. I don't hate the Wookiees. Wookiees are a little bit better, actually.
I'm going to change the title of the stream to Scott Hates Wookiees.
Please do not.
Oh, he's using good clippers on them.
No, these are not good ones.
Oh, they're beat up already.
Yeah.
From being used on them.
These are not, yeah. From being used to do this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I shouldn't do that. And I was like, oh, it's too late. What can you do? Actually,
Scott, have you ever heard of car sensation or convergence in biology?
I have not.
Scott
I don't
is
care.
Notoriously a biologist.
I don't care if it's a real thing. I don't like it. Stream. You're being ridiculous right now. Allow me to dislike something. I appreciate the testing of my feelings, but I do not like animals with their head plastered on a human body. It is uninventive
Hang on,
and not creative.
What if the human body is really sexy?
Yes. Now I'm into it, actually. Okay, we solved the problem. We just need big tits.
Or just a really buff, studly dude.
Or a stud. I'll take a stud, too. This is science, Scott. You must like it. I concede that it may be a totally possible thing that there is a cat person somewhere on a planet very far away. I am racist against that person, okay? No, I'm not, but I'll take a stud, too. Look at this guy. Look what I just painted.
Scott and Amber have been married a long time, so.
Scott, could you just not have unique opinions? So I was drilling this hole, and here's an example of this banner that I was talking about. Instead of like me drilling through the sidewall of the banner, it tore down one side. Cracked. So it's interesting, right? I'm drilling, but the pressure of the bit ripped it in half. I didn't think that would happen. I haven't seen Scott. He's talking about business taxes. So here's the thing. I love it. People challenge me on my beliefs. I really invite it, but this is just an opinion, and I don't think it requires such rigorous testing. I would rather you guys rigorously test my claims about the hobby than my opinions about design. What about Rakshasa? I don't know who that is.
I was watching a video last night kind of about this where a YouTuber that inadvertently became a political YouTuber for a while started talking about how he's like, I really am uncomfortable with this because I know a little bit about this one aspect of politics and I have opinions about other stuff, but I am not like a resource for this stuff. I am not a sociologist. I am not a psychologist. I should not be answering people's questions about like how to solve the Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm just some guy that lives in the Midwest. And that was like, that's very real.
Yes, I definitely feel that sometimes. Convergence is the tendency of unrelated animals and plants to evolve superficially similar characteristics under similar environmental conditions.
Well, Rufus, it goes a little beyond that, though, because it seems like everything sort of slowly evolves into a crab.
Okay, yeah, so I understand. The argument is interesting.
Not a streamer, Memory Gardens. YouTuber. I'll see if I can't pull up the video.
Carcinization is similar to convergence, but is where everything evolves into a crab, because crab is best. Elect that guy president. Scott's guilty pleasure is Monster Musume. Not sure I know what that is. All right, I'm going to do a little cleanup painting. Just around the handle here. Undercats. Yeah, I don't like Undercats. I think they're lame.
What?
They're cat people. It's lame. Try harder. What would a cat person actually look like? You just don't you put a cat on a fucking body. Whatever, dude.
I mean, they've also got like spots and stuff. Come on.
The other thing is that, okay, I realize that a lot of humans in art would struggle with what aliens might actually look like, which is just like, the thing is, you can't even imagine it, right? But because we're making a movie and we need the movie to be relatable, we need to make the design similar to what someone can understand and be comfortable with. And that is the human form.
It's not just about being comfortable, it's about being attracted to it.
Attracted to it, understanding what it is, like all those things.
So I mean, like, it just all comes back to the fact that we all secretly want to be Captain Kirk.
Yes.
That's what I think.
I agree. I also want to be Captain Kirk.
Right.
Ninja Turtles. Okay, yeah.
Ninja Turtles, it's okay because they're horrible mutants.
Mutants.
Rufus, I've never felt so seen in my life.
The fuck, dude?
Flummox Beast says, let Scott hate.
Hate. The hate is strong in you, young Skywalker. So basically what we decided today is that if your alien design can't have its own OnlyFans, it's garbage and you're wrong. Yeah,
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
You got it. The problem with that definition, though, is that there's the secondary thing of no matter how repulsive something is, there's going to be some portion of the audience that's like, hey, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that little fleck that just flew off?
I hope nothing critical.
Did people in chat see that too?
It doesn't matter if he is wrong. Okay, what the fuck, Lummox Beast? You said let me hate, and then you're just like, but he's wrong.
No,
So-
it doesn't matter if he's wrong.
Hold on, I actually want to know how much I am not in the majority on this. Let's get a poll out there to, do we like anthropomorphic designs, yes or no?
All right.
If you like a single animal on a body, a human body, an animal, not a fucking mushroom, not Yoda, you know, a cat head on a body, a fish head on a body. If you like that kind of anthropomology, if I use the term right, let me know. I want to know. Thanks, Lord Vladik.
Do you want 2 options or 3?
What would the third option be?
Um,
What about Mon Calamari? Please tell me his name isn't actually Mon Calamari.
That's the name of the race in Star Wars that is the fish-headed people. Admiral Akbar is a Mon Calamari. George Lucas, not actually a very creative person. Remember, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, is straight up just a Kurosawa remake of The Hidden Fortress. Just with the serial numbers filed off and thrown into space.
It's got calamari in the name.
Yeah. And they are squid-headed people. But it's okay because it's a trap.
Vader is. I know. That's the thing. He's loved, and so you can't criticize it.
They're damn
But-
right. Because he's the best.
But Vader is just father German. Honestly, the more I watch Star Wars, the more I start to see how like they keep using the same plot devices over and over again. And
Star
how-
Wars is not particularly creative.
It's like
okay.
every time the rebels need to sneak
Oh,
into
come on.
the fucking Empire, they always have some kind of clearance code because they stole a ship. That is
Rip.
always what they fucking do.
Middle of your speech, rip.
Oh, we died?
We have lost connection to the internet.
Rip.
Come on, OBS, reconnect. And guess what? We're exactly 2 hours into the stream.
All right, it's happening again.
It's back, baby.
Is it a Twitch thing? This is what we discovered last time? It was a Twitch thing?
It was never a problem when I was here. This is like a problem that predates me.
Oh. Okay.
And then it was never a problem here. It was like a problem at the house. We're still recording. I would love to...
Well, VOD people, you're gonna get this exclusive behind the scenes.
That's right. Let's give them the exclusive deep cuts. Interestingly, we haven't instantly reconnected. That's normally what happens. Am I still actually connected to the internet? Oh yeah, we definitely are because we're still seeing chat come in. Hello, Twitch. Hello. Huh. space on the hard disk. Failed to connect to server.
All right. Are there other streams going? I'm assuming there are other streams, but
Checking that right now.
it's hard to know if like some streams in a region went down.
Yeah, or if literally just like Twitch died, or if it's just us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, hitting twitch.tv and trying to go there, spinning its wheels. Okay, now I can't reach Google. So what the hell? We're still connected to chat, but like...
Can you go any... It's very possible that we lost internet. Comcast has been very shisty the last like 2 weeks.
I think you just mean shitty.
That. Yes, I mean that. I still have internet over here.
Oh, you did that, and now I have internet again.
Okay.
What the hell? Yep, and we're back up. As soon as you typed anything in there, my Google instantly loaded and the stream came back up. So that's super weird. Yeah, we're back up, everybody. And now that camera is not happy. Scott, what are you doing?
I just get sucked into things the moment I see them.
Yeah.
So I started answering comments on the podcast episode that came out today.
The wireless receiver just turned off also. No, you misunderstand. My Hitman is off. Where's that plugged into back here? There we go. Okay, cool.
Are we live on Twitch right now?
Yeah, we're live on Twitch. Say
You hear
hello.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, they can hear you.
What up, chat? I'm back.
All right, come on, camera, connect.
Scott got too bricked up. Guys, his name is Mon Calamari. He has a fish.
You guys missed like another 90 seconds of that rant before I told him that like it wasn't working.
Ugh.
You're gonna have to revisit the VOD because we've been recording the whole time. So yeah, it's bad. Von Calamari is the least creative thing possible.
They took a fish and they put it on a human's head and shoulders. Okay. All right. I need to see that.
We're doing the poll now.
We need to do the poll now. Still less dumb than all the aliens in episode 1 of being racist. Aliens being racist in episode 1. Okay, it's been a while. I haven't seen it in a while. All right, let's put some fucking toughs on.
My 3 responses, by the way, we got cut off. My 3 responses were going to be either hell yeah, only cat girls, or no.
Well, so hold on. You never told me what the fucking 3 options are.
That's what I just said. Hell yeah, only cat girls, or no are the options.
Do you think cat girls are really that much of a standout that it needs to have its own poll option?
Kinda. I mean, that's the meme response of I watch anime and I like girls with cat ears.
Yeah, but I actually want to know where I stand. In
all right. We'll just do hell yeah
debate.
and no.
What about a middle? It depends. I'm more fine with it depends than a hell yeah cat girl option.
Yeah, but we're just gonna end up in it depends land, and then no one has to make a meaningful choice. We're going with hell yeah and no.
Chat, you gotta make a fucking choice.
And the question is, do we like any anthropomorphized creatures?
Any traditional ones. I do not think of Yoda as an anthropomorphic design. I'm saying somebody took an animal that's very normal and put it on a human's body and nothing more.
Right. We aren't talking about elves.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, lizard people definitely qualify. Lizard people,
Yes.
cat girls, Mon Calamari, Wookiees, Most of the aliens in Star Trek and Star Wars are going to fall into this category. If they've got
Yeah.
2 legs and 2 arms and are functionally a guy in a suit that may have like a thing attached to his back or a tail or whatever.
With a recognizable animal head. Okay? Not an alien. Like Ahsoka is not anthropomorphic in my head. She may be, literally.
Yeah, I think that's to me, it's a distinction without a difference. But okay, if it's completely fictionally based, right? It's not clearly just like something based off of an Earth creature other than a human, because Ahsoka is obviously based off of a human.
Yes.
Sphinx, no. Anubis, yes.
No. Anubis is a dog-headed human being.
That's what I'm saying. Is Anubis is anthropomorphized animal. Sphinx is not. Sphinx is a human head on a
cat body,
lion body with wings. What about a centaur, but the top half is horse and the bottom half is human?
That is not what I am thinking about. A minotaur?
That's just. Well, it depends on how much of top half we're talking about. If we're talking about, like, it's got 6 legs because it's got 2 horse legs.
Let's keep it simple. Let's just say it's got funny animal hands, a funny animal head, the rest is human. So we'll just leave satyrs and minotaurs out of it, okay? Fuck this poll. Fuck this poll. We don't need it. Someone said tufts are boring. You know what? I don't need to be creative all the time with my basing choices.
And tufts are green, and green is not a creative color, so it all leads back into itself.
I am more aware of this joke the second time around than I was the first time around.
But not by much.
Do cat girls qualify? They don't have a cat head, just ears and a tail. Everything else is a girl, right? Yeah. See, yeah. This poll isn't going to produce anything valuable.
I think cat girls qualify because we're talking about a cat that is also a girl.
If it's got the face, I mean, it's in my head, it's more admissible if it has the face of a human and just like cat ears and shit. Like,
yeah, but like this gets down into the weeds of like, when does it become a lizard person?
Yeah.
Like, does it need to have like scales on its body? Yes, no. Does it need to have, et cetera, et cetera? Like, I think that we can't draw distinctions here. If the character is supposed to be cat, not like I have cat ears, but like I have the manners and personalism of a cat. I have cat eyes, cat ears, maybe a tail. I go, yeah, all the time. That's an anthropomorphized animal.
I would like to discontinue this conversation and instead talk about the fact that someone's name you just commented is Linus Tech Deck Flips. That's a cool name.
They should really have a tech deck.
What about Batman? He doesn't look like a bat, but he is a man. But yeah, I don't consider Batman to be anthropomorphic.
Batman is not, but Man-Bat is.
Man-Bat.
Man-Bat is a like a horrible experiment gone wrong, where the guy, he looks basically like one of those Osiark Bone Reapers, or not Osiark, excuse me. I mean, the Flesh Eater Courts type vampires. You know what I mean? Like the more monstrous ones with like the arms that are also potentially wings. Same thing with the vampires that are in the Blood Bowl team or whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Man-Bat is definitely an anthropomorphized bat, whereas Batman is an anthropomorphized billionaire.
I hate it all. I don't want to share my opinions anymore on the internet.
The kitten says, "What about Spider-Man? He has spider DNA or something."
Yeah,
I mean, normally no, because he appears human, but there is that arc where he grows an extra 4 arms, and then if you like the horrible spider monster version of him, yes, because now we're talking about a spider turned into a sort of human. That's a man spider. I don't think it actually is, but you might be right. I don't know, because of course that's how comics work.
If a vampire turns into a swarm of bats, where does it fall on the chart?
It
becomes fully bat. So it's not what I'm describing. I'm cool with transformation.
I'm just gonna pin Azathoth's message there. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just pinning it.
Morbius is just a bad person. Changed my mind.
That's true.
You're right. You know, I'm wrong. Actually, I actually like anthropomorphic characters now. Wow. All it took was that one comment, Rufus Kid.
You would just, the thing is you would have to answer yes on this poll because it's a anthropomorphized character you like. And you love Dr. Morbius.
I do.
And so, hell yeah is the response that Scott's going to get.
We fixed him. Fuck. It worked. Just don't expect any anthropomorphic miniatures from me ever, okay? And it's never gonna.
The next Kickstarter is gonna be Scott X anthropomorphized.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a collab with hang on, I have to dig deep and remember one of the furry art sites is.
Yeah.
I guess it could just be Tumblr. Tumblr's got a lot of furry people on it.
It's gonna be a collab with the local zoo. It's gonna be great.
We know what Scott will be for Halloween.
Yes. A Catwoman. Fucking.
It's gonna be Morbius.
Oh, or that.
Sure. Street Sharks.
What about Street Sharks?
Street Sharks.
I don't know if I know what Street Sharks are.
They're jawsome is what they are.
They're jawsome?
Yeah.
Man.
They're definitely not a ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that was made in the mid-90s on the tail of Teenage Mutant Ninja.
Street Sharks! Scott, you hate what you want. Okay, I will, but you know, I like anthro now. We're down. We're down with anthropology.
See, this is just proof that peer pressure works.
I actually hate nothing anymore. I love everything that you love, chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're jawsome.
That's a good one.
For sure. Biker Mice from Mars also existed around this time. I have heard, and I'm not going to Google this, so chat can. I have heard that Biker Mice from Mars is now attached to Ryan Reynolds for some sort of reboot, remake, movie, TV show. I don't know. And that is like the most dreadful but exciting thing to me I've ever heard in my life.
Ryan Reynolds is getting some hate lately because of his something regarding it, his cell phones and him advertising shit and whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Bizarro. He's a savvy investor, is what it boils down to. He bought a giant stake of Mint Mobile like a decade ago, and then he sold, or rather, Mint sold to Sprint. So it's another Sprint-owned brand, and he's now a spokesperson for them.
Oh, okay. So
he did the same thing with Aviation Gin, where he bought a stake and then sold it, and then remained spokesperson for a specific part. You know, like 10 years after the sale, I'll do spokesperson work or whatever. It's normal stuff.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds is very, very rich because he's successfully done this a couple times. He's producing a new animated series. That's even more exciting. Extreme Dinosaurs. Yes, I remember that crap. I remember all this garbage. I remember the Wing Commander cartoon that was on USA Network for some reason.
What are our people's thoughts on what is it? Free Guy? Or what is it? What's his one movie?
Yeah, Free Guy I think is correct.
Free something.
The one where he's an NPC that becomes self-aware or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
People like that movie?
Free Guy was fun. I haven't seen it. I feel bad.
I have seen it. But I'm withholding opinions. I'm just curious what people thought.
I'll tell you what.
Pretty fun.
The poll for anthropomorphized characters is 78% in favor. The people love the cat girls.
All right.
And lizard folk and Skaven and Mon Calamari and Chewbacca.
It's good to know that I'm in the majority, so I'm glad we did that. Very rigorous testing.
A representative poll with absolutely no sampling bias whatsoever.
Yeah.
Captain Simeon and the Space Monkeys is another anthropomorphized animal show that was very much of the 90s. Hell yeah.
Chat, I'm running out of micro tufts.
Micro tuft.
You gotta do a micro tuft run. Chat, you're all beautiful people.
That's true. And if chat contributes another 12 subs, we'll give away a cutting mat today.
Woo!
As it's September.
September, 25% off tier 1 subs and even more off of tier 2 and tier 3 subs.
Also, longer durations. If you buy 6 months of tier 1 in advance, you get 30% off. Which is pretty neat. The Microtuft store. The Microtuft store is pretty close to here. Because we are in the St. Paul area, and the St. Paul area has the Microtuft store, scale model supply.
Lots of Microtufts.
Lots of, if you wanted a store that was like, man, I need to do some work for basing. Place is awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Pirates of Dark Water. Yeah, I remember that one too.
All right.
I'm surprised there isn't a Netflix show of that.
Unit tufted. Now we shall do the ceremonial last step of painting a miniature, which is, of course, painting its base rim black.
Rimming the Mini.
Rimming it. Do a rim job. It seems like the free guy opinion is that it was fun, it was a good watch, wasn't a waste of my time. Yeah, I felt pretty similar about it. It's pretty good. It's fun. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna slap some moss on there.
Nope.
Whoa.
I mean that's what the tuft is.
I thought you were gonna slap some moss on the banner.
Oh, on the banner.
Right where like the freehand is, you just slap a bunch of moss over it.
Yeah. Let me do that real quick. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, free guy is a solid 3 stars, right, Scott?
Oh yeah, right up there with
B Movie and Citizen Kane.
and Lawrence of Arabia. Like Citizen Kane. Yeah, thank you. Oh, we didn't talk about the D&D movie. No, that movie was so much fun. That movie was so much fun, and I don't know a lot about D&D, but what I gleaned from the movie is that the fun and creative solutions the characters used to get themselves out of situations were like the fun, creative solutions that people who play D&D come up with while they're playing the game. Like, I don't play D&D, and that was totally obvious to me. And I was like, this is really cool. They were like using the medium as inspiration for story writing. And it not only was it cool, but it made the movie better. Like, I think more people should try to think in the way that an RPG player thinks when solving movie-based problems. Because they were funny. I liked them. Thought it was good. That's what made it good. Yeah. There's a fat dragon in it? There's a fucking fat dragon? It was hilarious. I loved it. And they made bad decisions. Exactly. The very first decision in the movie, or the one that I remember, which I won't spoil, is a bad decision. But they do it, and it works, and it's like, oh my god, this is a fucking RPG. It's amazing. I love it. But I don't play RPGs, so I don't know how close to the subject matter it gets. Chungus Dragon, dude. So I'm gonna try I've tried Blood Bowl. It's
we played it on stream like a year ago.
It's on stream.
More than a year ago.
But Ollie and Kara from Broadsword Wargamings are traveling to the United States, and they're gonna be here. And I want to play Blood Bowl or Dungeon Bowl because I know that Rufus Kid said that was great. I want to play one of those 2 games on stream with them. So we'll play it again. The Easter egg of the character from the D&D cartoon was great. Blood Bowl is indeed a shit show.
Blitz Bowl. How many
Blitz Bowl?
How many bowls are there?
Sorry, not Dungeon Bowl. Hold on. I'm gonna. I have to tell Ollie. I said the wrong term.
Blood Bowl, Blitz Bowl, Dungeon Bowl, Super Bowl.
There are more bowls that aren't GW games.
Bowling. Smokable.
Please, Instagram, just fucking work, bro. Thank you.
I see Blood Bowl is the full game. Blitz Bowl is the simplified version sold as a boxed game.
But Rufus Kid was saying that Blitz Bowl has more of an interesting like action puzzle in it than the actual game does. Bread Bowl.
Simplified.
So clearly Rufus does not believe that it's exactly simplified. Probably more to it than that.
Garrett, the problem with the vampire team is that there's anthropomorphized bats on the team.
Can't do it. Not playing that faction.
The only way he can play him is if he names the players that look like that Dr. Michael Morbius.
Yeah. Then I've solved it in my head.
Yep. It's fixed.
It's simplified, and that they trimmed a lot of the fat and redesigned it to be a better game.
I almost just spit take on the microphone.
That's literally what Blood Bowl needs to be an actually not insane game. But yeah, that's funny.
The feedback that I hear is that game works a lot better when you're playing it in the league because of the fact that the chaos is no longer limited to one game, and so it's just swinging all over the place, but enough that the duration of the season solves the this game was a complete shit show problem.
I feel like if your game, in order to be balanced and a good experience, needs to be spread out over the course of a campaign to feel good and balanced for your players, there's probably a problem with the game.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree. But
there's probably examples where I'm wrong, but I kind of believe that. I mean, I do believe that. That's why I said it. Blitz Bowl is Blood Bowl as an arena football is to the NFL. Okay. You have to play it 5 or 6 times to make up for how you just eat shit and give up the ball in your first roll. Right, yeah. You could be doing the most basic move with your character with the highest reliability and immediately cause a turnover with this professional football player.
I think that's the key is don't think of them as professional football players.
But they're supposed to be, aren't they?
Yeah, but
they're high
that's
paid.
The problem is I think the lore problem there is that they should not be thought of as professional football players.
Right. Well, anyways, it is what it is.
That's definitely what they are.
It is what it is. The game is beloved. People love the game. That's totally fine. I found my own way to enjoy Blood Bowl. It's not a bad game at all in its current state, but it is crazy. It's a crazy game.
Like Genie says, it's so funny. Like, oh, I tried to run extra space. Oops, my guy is down. Oh, and seriously injured.
Seriously injured. And I've turned the ball over to my enemy. Blood Bowl requires a different mindset to other games. It's all about balancing risk. I might argue that every single miniature war game is about balancing risk. The different mindset you need to go into playing Blood Bowl is that this is not a skill-based game. It is very random and very lucky, and I am not a shit player if the dice don't go my way in this singular event, in this one game. That's the mindset that I need to play Blood Bowl and not hate myself. Because that game, if you think AOS is heavy on dice, that game is insanely heavy on dice. And it's fine. That is totally fine to be a game for Timmies. Like if I just think of it that way, I can enjoy it as well. But when I try to think of it like a super ultra competitive crunchy game, I just lose my mind. I can't do that. Every game has risk mitigation. Blood Bowl is about how much shit you can eat after failing to mitigate a game of almost pure risk. We're just waiting on Slapshot Showdown. Yeah, baby. I cannot wait for Slapshot Showdown to come down. I fear that the models are going to suck, but I would love to be proven wrong because the concepts are amazing. They're so good, but the one model we've seen so far did not inspire a lot of confidence. Maybe it's just a paint job. We'll see. But yeah, that game's looking hot. The person developing it seems to really care and love it, and that is a good sign. That's a great sign. Yeah, we need another sports-based game.
We have one. It's called Guild Ball.
Yes. No one wants to play Guild Ball. Even me. No. I'd play it. Every time I played Blood Bowl, I got my ass kicked, but I still had a fun time. Exactly. That a game can if a game can do that, then it's fucking winning. So not every game needs to be crunchy and hardcore and make you fucking rack your brain to solve its puzzle. They don't all got to be like that. And Blood Bowl isn't like that, and that's fine. It's honestly fine. He got a new concept. Honestly, I loved his concept artist. I thought the concepts were not the problem. I told him, I talked to him. I was like, designing 32 millimeter models isn't easy. If I can help, let me know. I told the guy making Slap Shot Showdown that, but I mean, he has no reason to listen to me, so. Not like I even know how to design a 32 millimeter model amazingly. I've done it only a handful of times, and I've struggled, so. Oh yeah, the first issue people mentioned with the doctor he put out, which is supposed to be Dr. Jekyll, is just that he doesn't look like a hockey player. And the concepts largely all look like hockey players. So yeah, I totally get that critique. But yeah. I don't know. If the game is amazing, but it has shit models, will I play it? There's not a whole lot of other fucking hockey minis out there, y'all.
Yeah, but we can solve that problem.
Can we? How do we solve that problem?
Commission people to sculpt them for money.
Am I gonna pay someone to sculpt models for a game that has minis so that I can enjoy it and play it? Probably not.
Content.
Who would do that? No normal person would do that, right?
Yeah, but you're not a normal person, Scott. You're an enlightened man who enjoys anthropomorphized creatures.
Just pull the I make a Kickstarter campaign to make models for a different person's game.
I mean, in fairness, the models that you've commissioned are even more useless.
No, they are. You're definitely right.
Until they release the, Dota 2 miniature war game.
Yes, you are right. The Dota model is useless. The Fade model is useless. At least for the Dota model, I didn't personally pay for it.
That's fair.
But yeah, I have reached out to that company again. Fiverr?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, let's do this video again. I would love to do this again because I wanted to do it with Levia from Flesh and Blood. I was like, I'll make a fucking Levia model and paint her up. That'd be so fucking cool. With a big old meat axe. And they didn't respond, so. Rip the hockey dream.
WizKids made a baseball game in the 2010s.
Scott's
really?
Kickstarter. Rufus, I can't wait to be done with this Kickstarter campaign and then make a video about the whole process, just for myself, just so I can figure out like the final financial breakdown. I'm so curious, but I have to wait just a little bit.
You talking about MLB sports clicks?
MLB sports clicks for exposure.
Oh my God.
What? Yes, Mike. Levia is the blitz deck I've used a ton. I think second after that would be either Azalea or Riptide, one of the two hunters. Rangers?
I have Chain and the Frost dude. What's his name? Oldheim or something like that?
Yeah, you have Chain, the Runeblade character, and then Oldhim, who is a elemental guardian, I think.
Grandfather of Eternity, shield bearer of the Allen.
What up, Midwest miniature guy? We are back loading up on Felt Table so I can practice against Scott and Evan's deck until Adepticon. Okay, buddy. Wait, what do you play? What do you play, Mike Genie?
Whatever counters our lists.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Chain, I love Chain's a lot of fun. Oh, you know what I actually like more? Actually, I like Chain. No.
You can't like Chain. Chain's mine.
Who uses Runechant tokens other than Chain? Is there someone else that uses Runechant tokens other than Chain? Someone help me out here. A 1v1 card game would probably work best with a deck of cards, IMO. Garrett, why?
I don't use Runechant tokens as Chain.
You don't.
Blitz deck.
Why do you think that, Garrett? There's someone who uses Runechant tokens. They're a Shadow Runeblade. I also love that character. Whoever that character is.
Bolton?
Bolton is a Guardian.
Dan just subscribed.
What up, Dan? Only so much you can do with dice. I love you, but you're so wrong.
I mean, it's factually true.
Maybe he's factually not true. Maybe based on the current games that exist or the current games that you play and understand, that's true. But there are a million ways that we have yet to discover as a civilization about how to use dice to introduce randomness to a game. In fact, there are many ways that board games do it that are wholly unique.
Right, but there's only so many ways to use dice because you can only introduce randomness with dice.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yes, but I don't think that necessarily limits the scope that I'm talking about with Garrett.
No, you're right.
Enlighten me. Okay, look at how Guild Ball works for combat. It's not roll the hit, roll the wound, armor save, run away because of morale. It's, my opponent has a defense value, I'm rolling higher than, so I roll that value. They might have armor, so I'm gonna remove my net successes from that dice roll to get a pool of successes. And that pool of successes determines how far down a playbook I can go, and then I can pick a result, like a push, like a grab, like a tackle to steal the ball, like damage, like a spell, you know? So it's like, that changes the way that dice work compared to GW games in a huge way. And if that exists, then surely there are a million other ways that we can use dice to make an interesting system, right? I think looking at games through the lens of what we already understand and know in games just really limits the creativity that we can design games in.
Don't call me Shirley.
And don't call me Shirley, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I am getting a little frustrated about that opinion.
Scott's just still frustrated about the fact that we went off air while he was ranting about
fucking
Mon Calamari.
Mon Calamari. I'm also not having a great day, so like that is also contributing to how I'm interacting with you, chat, and I want to be honest about that. So I'm sorry if I'm being mean. But yeah, like in the very first video about game design that I made, I got like 50 comments saying that I couldn't do what I was imagining. It's just like, I don't even care that they're saying that I can't do it. That isn't the thing that I care about. What I care about is the reason why they're like, you can't do that. It's like a 1v1 game wouldn't be interesting at all. It's like, yeah, maybe in the context of GW, it'd be very fucking boring. But there are other ways to imagine how a game works.
That's true.
And I'm excited to find those other ways.
I'm still loving Evian.
I went to Half Price Books.
We should give them a shout out. Evian just started their Wave 3 Kickstarter today.
Cool, do it.
So I'm gonna throw a link in the chat.
Content creators aren't people, Nicks. They are anthropomorphized personalities. Oof. Speaking of Star Wars, I just saw the greatest comparison ever. The Star Wars prequels are the new metal of sci-fi. Misguided nostalgia are given them a brief moment in the sun, but they're still bad. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that description. You're good, Scott. Content creators are people too. Yeah.
If you like the idea of flesh and blood, but don't like trading card games, Evian is the game for you. It has similar concepts and deck building ideas, but it also introduces a character that you can move around. They just started their Wave 3 Kickstarter, which is like their upcoming set. Wave 2 is hitting stores like right now because they're fulfilling their Kickstarter.
There's still deck building in Evian though.
It is a deck builder. It's just like it's a fixed set of cards, right? You buy boxes and you just get the cards. You don't have to open boosters or any of that nonsense.
Okay, yeah, so it's like a living card game, but they can't use that term because Fantasy Flight's a bunch of fucking
Correct.
dinguses.
Yeah.
NPC Chris says, I design board games for a living. Do something different and don't listen to what people say. Yes, I will. I plan to do that. But also, one thing I do realize, just like with anthropomorphized aliens, people come to expect a certain kind of feeling and emotion when playing a miniature war game. And I need to make sure that when I design a game, I don't alienate that audience to the point where they aren't interested in playing my game.
I feel like the third rail there is calling it a war game. Also, Der Boozewolf subscribed with Prime.
Thank you, Dare Booze Wolf. But yeah, if I make a game that doesn't look and feel like a miniature war game, and I call it that, and I want to call it that, I want to make a miniature war game, then people aren't going to buy it. So there is a uniqueness limit.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. That makes designing the game easier to do, just because, it's hard to come up with unique things for everything in your game. That's difficult to do. What do you think that feeling is? Oh, great question. What's the feeling of a war game? It's a lot. It's more than just specific things. Like how attacking works. It could be as simple as like having D6 in your game versus using D10s or D12s, because D6 are so ubiquitous in war games. It could be the feeling that movement is really important and really critical, and that is a very tenuous thing in a 1v1 game. How am I going to manage movement in a game like that? What other things make a war game feel like a war game? It's a great question. I haven't really sat down and thought about that, but now I will. Thank you. Malifaux uses cards instead of dice. That's cool. I've never
That's why it's not a war game, Scott.
Yeah. Yafsiga and Malifaux use cards. I've never really super been into cards for randomness like those games do. Like, I like dice. I really do like rolling dice. And so I want to include those in my game. But no, it's a great question though. Why does a war game feel like a war game? List building, that's a huge thing. I think list building is a huge thing in war games, and that should be maintained in a game called a war game. That's something else. Objectives, says Mr. Stinky Bakey. Right in the great book of game design. What makes a war game feel like a war game? For me, it's list building. Thank you. So Mike Genie's got it. Yeah. For me, it's list building and pre-game strategy stuff. I think you're 100% right. Rufus says, I want to go to Chicago Produce Field, but my wife is making a celebrity's wedding cake? That's fucking cool. Yeah, that's who I agree with you. Meaningful tactical movement. For Scott's game specifically, if the intention is to still for it to be mini agnostic, so people can use their display models and whatnot, having people need cards as well would feel out of place. Cards as part of a war game should be supplied with miniatures or the box sets. Overcomplicated rule set.
Yeah. Sad but true.
Yeah.
If the rule set is too simple, it's not a war game, it's a board game.
But I feel like A Song of Ice and Fire is a pretty simple rule set.
No.
At least it looks simple.
Yeah, that's the trick. It looks simple, but there's so much space and ambiguity, and you get a 20-page FAQ document and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the rules are offloaded to the cards in that game because the rule book doesn't explain all of the different orders and abilities and reactions and tactics cards that are actually part of the game.
Yeah.
So the rule set, I realized this when I was showing my brother the game, who's not a war gamer. It is not a good first war game. It's a good second war game. It's a great second war game because it's able to be broken up into chunks in how you teach it, but you need to have a fundamental familiarity with the space that the stuff is designed in, or you will be overwhelmed your first game. Because you have so many reactive orders and cards and all that stuff.
Yeah, can we get the paint cam up?
No.
Okay. I was the design lead on a miniatures game. What miniatures game? And I used a dice system inspired by HeroScape, but a bit more streamlined. That's one I haven't played yet. But also, yeah, Azathoth mentions that, a game like Kill Team doesn't have a lot of list building in it, or it's very streamlined. List building in Underworlds is totally non-existent. It is pick a faction, you have your list. So yeah, not required, but I do feel like the two are very similar.
Would you call Underworlds a war game?
I mean,
I'm not sure I would.
It's made by GW, and it's making me want to call it a war game. I feel like it's a war game.
I'm not sure. It does have deck building, kind of, unless you're playing Rivals, right? And then you don't get deck building.
I can't remember what the term is, but Rivals is a format, yeah. There's like Nemesis, Rivals, Arena Mortis, all these things.
And anyway, I don't think I would call Underworlds a war game.
Really? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Is MTG a war game? Yeah, but MTG is not an exact comparison to Underworlds.
It's not, but I would also say that MTG is closer to what I would call the war game than Underworlds is.
If you think MTG is a war game, then absolutely Underworlds is.
I don't know.
It's like everything in MTG kind of exists inside of Underworlds, and then there's extra shit that's more wargamey.
Well, you say that, and yet, like,
am I wrong about that?
If Underworlds has fixed decks,
combat card game.
Yeah, combat card game. I don't know. I don't know. Underworlds is right on the line.
Okay.
Commander format Magic is kind of right on the line.
Yeah. People they're kind of yes and no right now. They're both strategy games. Underworlds is a war game. You pick armies, positioning matters, you have objectives. And he means like on the table objectives. Like obviously there's an objective in Magic to kill people, but if there are literal in-place objectives, that feels different. That feels war gamey. Okay.
I don't think list building is required. I think that I don't know. I could reference my partially done script on this topic.
But mechanically, I designed.
I do think that wargaming in and of itself is actually an economic statement rather than a gameplay statement.
That's an interesting thing.
I think that if you can't buy pieces and put them together, it's not necessarily list building. It's the fact that like let's say for the sake of example, if you bought an Underworld's warband, and then from there, it was like you have 5 models to pick from, but you can only take 3. I wouldn't call that a war game because you can't buy a second piece and add it into your army. I think that to me is like the key and fundamental feature of a war game is buying different things from different spaces and putting them together.
Okay. It's worth mentioning that there is no definition for a war game. We're trying to figure it out right now. So yours may be different, and that's fine.
NPC Chris says he designs for Funko games.
Funko games. Is that related to Funko Pops? That's cool. And you mentioned a game called Funkoverse. Is Risk a war game rather than a board game, especially if you use miniatures?
No, that's kind of the point I'm making. Is that if it all comes in one box, and then you just build lists out of that, and you don't buy additional boxes to supplement those armies, then it's not a war game, it's a board game or something else.
Okay.
It may be tactical and strategic, and so on. But my definition of a modern miniatures war game requires you to be able to like buy a new commander or new hero or new unit.
Okay.
Board games with expansions, only if those expansions add into the previous features, but I would actually call many of those war games, yeah.
Like what? Like Root? Is Root a war game to you?
I haven't played Root, so I can't comment on it, but I do know that Root has a bunch of expansions.
Killing You Softly, if you disagree with the concept, that's totally fine, but let us know what yours is.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you think war games are defined in a different way, let's have a discussion. If we talk about the vibes, and then I 100% get that people call Underworlds basically a board game. I kind of think that I mean, I kind of feel like Underworlds is a war game. But I don't know why I feel that way. I think it's just because GW makes the game.
I mean,
I'm being totally honest. I think that's why my brain is making that jump.
it's totally also acceptable to say it's a war game because the person that made it says it's a war game.
Chat. Okay.
That's legit.
Yeah, sure. Skaver just asked me how we doing on the vampire army, Scott, and we are literally one base rim away from a fully completed Age of Sigmar fucking army for Scott the Miniature Maniac. The first one I have ever personally owned. Let's do it. Here it goes. Boom. I have a fully painted AOS army. Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, I don't know. You didn't do the freehand on the back of that yet.
Holy shit. I did it, stream. I've come close, chat, to having a fully painted AOS or fantasy army in the past. 80% done, halfway done. But I've sold them, unfortunately. I've never actually finished. And now I have actually finished.
Dr. Darkmatch just subscribed with Prime.
Thank you, Dr. Darkmatch. I appreciate your sub.
Ass for the
Woo! NPC Chris with a 10 gifted subs.
And Skaver gifted another 5, so we have to do the giveaway now.
Skaver and NPC Chris, thank you guys so much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. So yeah, now we're doing the giveaway. Or Evan will get us started here, let you know how you enter. But again, if you guys got gifted subs from NPC Chris or Skaver, let them know in the chat. Give them some love.
Exclamation mark moist in the chat to enter. Please only enter if you are in a location that allows you to enter into online random giveaways. Thank you to all of our contributors today. We've got 10 minutes for this Miniac cutting mat and sticker pack giveaway.
If that guy, Nicholas, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. There was a guy who said that he didn't agree with your opinion about what a war game is, and I want to make sure we didn't miss his opinion.
Yeah, let me scroll back up like 5 pages.
All right, yeah. Let's see if we did or didn't miss him.
I was here.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Look at this unit.
Is killing us softly. I find war games to be miniature-based battle games, was his opinion. I mean,
okay,
that's legit, but then that does bring in something like a Risk or any number of board games where you just have a mini and you fight. I don't know. There's a lot of blurry lines here.
Yeah. How many times do I need to spam this to increase my odds? Unfortunately, yeah. Only ones will get you in one time. I have a trouble with definition because I see Combat Patrol as 100% a war game, but I see Underworlds as like 50% a war game. Likely because of cards. Do you see A Song of Ice and Fire as 75% a war game?
No terrain and a preset map, but there's plenty of games that have no terrain and a preset map. Guild Ball.
Miniac, NPC Chris is a pro game designer. They are the lead of Prospero Hall. I have no idea what Prospero Hall is, but that's awesome. Do all war games have to be miniature based? Aren't miniature war games a subset of war games?
Yeah, that was one thing I was kind of key honing in on, was when I'm talking about war games, I'm talking specifically about miniature war games.
Yeah.
There are war games that are meant to just simulate war and don't have miniatures. They aren't like a consumer product in the same way. Like, what is it? The Battle for North Africa or whatever. It's like It has a tremendously large map, but it's basically like a super in-depth version of Risk. You're not buying packages and stuff. When I'm talking about war games, I'm talking about the war games that we're working on stream. Stuff where you're buying supplements to your faction because it's miniature wargaming. Campaign for North Africa. Thank you, Huddleston.
Okay. A part of a design team with a game ranked 175 on Board Game Geek. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Horrified.
I could truly ever hope to
Horrified. Pan Am?
Design a game that well received.
Disney Villainous.
Can we get a shot of the painting can so people can see the whole unit? Oh, here, I'll zoom out a little bit.
I could have just shifted the alignment. It's fine.
Chat! It's not a great angle, but there's my unit of Chalice Guard or Grave Guard.
As someone pointed out right before the giveaway, they're gonna do the points update in like a week, and this unit will be completely unnecessary because Soulblight Gravelord's gonna get nerfed. Everything's gonna go up in points, and now you're gonna have like 2,400 points worth of stuff.
No, I do plan to keep painting Soulblight. I do want to keep painting. I have another dragon, a zombie lord on dragon to paint. I have a. What's the thing with all the bays on it? A Coven Throne to paint. I have a big dragon lady to paint still. And I have another unit of Blood Knights to paint. So I got stuff to paint still. Prospero Hall may not make games for the most hardcore board gamers, but they make games that bring people into the hobby and hobby gamers love, which is a huge accomplishment. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love gateway games. Other than Catan. Fuck Catan. Just kidding. I don't feel that strongly about Catan.
Not nearly as strongly as you do about anthropomorphized characters.
Yes. See ya, NPC, Chris. Thank you for not only the gifted subs, but also just providing some insight into the game industry.
They did Villainous. Villainous is
Oh, they did
awesome.
Villainous. Okay, I know Villainous. I do feel strongly about Catan. Game sucks. You're right. Fuck Catan. Team fuck eyes. Team fuck Catan.
The reason I like Villainous is the one time that I played it, I won. So that's good. That's how you know. They did the Fast and the Furious game. Oh boy, send it to me.
Chat.
Where do I get this?
We're doing a giveaway right now for a Miniac cutting mat, double-sided, metric on one side, Imperial on the other. 2 awesome designs. Type exclamation mark moist in the chat channel to not potentially, but to enter into the raffle.
But don't enter if you're in a place that doesn't allow you to enter giveaways like this.
Thank you guys for subscribing to make this possible. I appreciate it.
Indeed.
The only reason I don't like Catan, it is a perfect game. The reason I don't like it is because it feels like there's no comeback mechanic. I get the robber is a kind of random comeback mechanic, but like if I am down in that game, I am gonna lose it 80% of the time, and so it just feels It just feels like a waste to play it out. Like, what's the point? So that's my beef with the game, but I haven't played it a lot. So that's a big mat, yo. Yes, it is A2 sized.
It's also extra thick.
And it's thick. It's 3mm thick. I've played Wingspan, man. Yeah, I played a lot. I haven't played a lot. I've played 3 Stonemaier games. I love Jamie Stegmaier. He's awesome. In fact, the place that I started when I was like, where do I even begin with designing a game? What do I even do? He has a list on his website, which is amazing, stonemeiergames.com, where he is like, you want to design a board game? Look at all these things. Look at all these resources, these books, these articles, these videos. That's where I started. And that kind of put me down a rabbit hole. Yeah, no, he's got good shit. I love one of my favorite board games right now to play with my crunchy gaming homies is Scythe. And Scythe, I just discovered, has this expansion, something about Fenris, Sons of Fenris, where it turns it into a 6-session campaign game, which is not new to the gaming world, but I fucking love that with Scythe. That'd be a lot of fun. Stegmaier didn't design Wingspan, though. I'm assuming Stonemaier Games did. I mean, I'm not assuming. I know they did. Who is your favorite unit in your Chalice Guard?
You know, the thought occurred to me because we're talking about Wingspan, and the only time I played that with Brian Sago, who he's local. He made a game called Butter Princess. Have you ever played Butter Princess, Scott?
No.
Amber, you should get this game for Amber.
Okay.
It's about stealing butter from the state fair.
The actual state fair?
Yeah. So, you know, like, because the butterheads at the state fair, it's like about like heisting.
That's kind of awesome.
It is very Minnesota shit.
I like one of these two. They published it. It was designed by an independent designer, Elizabeth Hargrave. Oh, thank you for correcting me. I didn't know that they had exclusively published a game. I thought all the games published by them were designed by Jamie. It's interesting though how similar in design language that game is to all of their games. They're all kind of midweight Euro games with multiple paths to victory. It feels like Red Rising and it feels like Scythe, which I think he did both of those. You didn't visit the state fair this year, dude?
Banned.
I like these two the most. Skaver.
1 minute left in the giveaway, ! Moist to enter if you're in a locale that allows you to enter for a Miniac cutting mat and sticker pack.
Show them the minis I like the most.
The minis you like the most?
Yes.
These ones?
Yeah, I like these guys the most. I like the standing pose dude a lot, and also the blood on his blade turned out really good. So this guy's kind of a generic guy I like the most, but I like this guy.
What is he standing on an actual book? I thought that was a chest.
He's standing on 2 books. The dumbest thing, but whatever.
That's the only use that books have.
Exactly.
Standing stoically.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I tried a different thing for the skin tone this time. I wanted to paint it like I normally paint vampire skin, but I didn't want it to take forever. And so what I did was I used Fantasy and Games Orcish Dermis.
Orcish Dermis.
As a base coat. And then I washed it in Dragonoff Nightshade. And then layered up from there with my favorite, Sandalwood.
I'm picking a winner.
He's doing it.
Hope you're here. Midwest miniature
Fuck
guy.
yeah, dude. I'm assuming you're in the Midwest.
Irony of ironies, he lives in Mexico. Midwest miniature guy, please sound off in chat so I can send you a message and do the thing.
Orc surfer skin. Yeah. That's a great. I mean, okay, it's not an offensive name for a paint, but it's just stupid, right? Like, come on, seriously, surfer orc flesh. Actually, it's from Japan. He just makes Midwest themed miniatures. Have fun shipping that shit to Osaka. Very cool.
Only very cool if they reply.
What other color would surfer orcs be? You're right. Turquoise is the only option.
There we go. Holy crap, I won. Yes, you did. Now I will whisper you and do the bit, and then we'll be done for the day.
Okay, you men charge. I'll catch up after I pick up my books.
Hey, I am
Only copy
saying
one.
what I am typing. This is the key bit that we do every giveaway. I need your
Toll
name,
the great bell and commence the bit.
your address,
Gong.
and your email address
He's doing it.
so that I can hang on. So I can send you this big and thick mat. Chat now feels included. Deals, not feels, deals. All right, Midwest Minister guy. I sent you all that in whispers. You can reply there. There we go. Hey. I can confirm that Midwest Miniature Guy does, in fact, live in the Midwest.
Oh my god.
Doxed.
Doxed, yeah.
Lives somewhere in the central time zone.
A little bit of brass there on the trim. Just want to fix that up. Okay. Chat. I'm going to head out. It's basically the end of the stream anyways. Thank you. I always love streaming. It's always a blast, even when we argue about my feelings.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes, Scott.
I learned that this stream, and I also learned that I, in fact, love cat people. I'm going to go watch Thundercats, and when I leave here, actually, it's going to be great.
I'm pretty sure Morbius shows up in an episode of Thundercats.
But yeah, I'm also going to arrange my AOS army and make a bunch of fucking sounds. Like sword fighting
Oh,
sounds.
yeah. I mean, that's essential.
Yes.
Like, when I finished my dragons with the fire-breathing thing, I definitely moved them around and went...
It's required. Yeah. It's absolutely required. One of us. You're allowed to have your own things, but your brain belongs to chat. Yes.
True.
Yes.
True.
All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you so much for the gifted subs from NPC Chris, from Scaver, and from others. I appreciate it a lot, guys. It was a super fun chat. Looking forward to seeing you guys this Thursday for a gaming live stream in the evening at 7 p.m. CST. And then another stream a week from now.
What are we playing on Thursday?
I thought it was going to be a Song of Ice and Fire, and I'm hoping it's still that. But
Nothing but song.
You never really know. You never really know around here. Things change last minute, which is, just how it is sometimes.
All right.
But yeah, that'll be it, y'all. Thank you again for... actually, hold on. Who should we host?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's something that we do.
Garrett, I am so far from being upset about anything that you said.
Yeah, no. Any amount of upset is obviously for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Like
nothing is taken personally. We are going to raid Malev today because it's his birthday stream.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Everyone say happy birthday to Malev. I don't even care if you leave immediately. Accept the raid. Go over there. Happy birthday. Be a fucking human being.
Yeah, say happy birthday and you're excited for BBQ Pit Lord.
Okay, you don't gotta say that, but you can if you want to. But yeah, let's do Malev because it's his birthday. But again, guys, thank you. It was an awesome stream, as it always is. See you this Thursday for a gaming stream, and next Tuesday for another painting stream. Otherwise, see you. Bye-bye.